Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Is Football. Welcome to a call-in show, ladies and gentlemen. Let me DM Albert real quick that I'm doing a call-in show. Welcome to the call-in show, ladies and gentlemen. You guys keep asking for call-in shows. You guys want to express your opinions, you know? Yo, Albert, I'm doing a call-in show if you want to come co-host. Anyway, you guys keep asking for the call-in shows, and we deliver for you guys. We are, at the end of the day, This Is Football is a channel for the people. That is what this channel is for. As you guys know, typically in the call-in shows, I'm going to speak the first 10-15 minutes. After that, we're going to drop the link, and then you all can join us. Let us know your thoughts, all of that good stuff. Before I get started, first of all, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, in case I didn't say it, make sure you guys are slapping that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribing to This Is Football if you're yet to do so. Every single person watching us right now, please do like the video. Please do subscribe to This Is Football if you're yet to do so. Let me know whichever topics you guys want to discuss today. Of course, you are the hero. We're gonna drop the link in the comment section for you guys to join, and there's no celebrity tax. Whoever come first, serve. That's our rule. So, yeah, that's basically what we're gonna do. Big up everyone in the comments. Big up to you guys. There's a comment I want to address though. Redbird, the only guarantee you'll get from Hussam is him being late. You know, Redbird, I think that's a little bit rude, Redbird. If I was in your place, I'd say the only guarantee you'll get from Hussam is an absolutely fantastic show. That's what I'd say about Hussam and This Is Football. Not that I'm late. Sometimes I'm on time. We have to be real. Sometimes I'm on time. The only guarantee you get from this is a good show, man. Slap the like button, subscribe, Habibis. And let's get this party started. So, I just want to talk a little bit, and then after that, I'm going to drop the link, you guys. Ben, if you didn't beat Man United in the Europa League, Ben out. I'm going to be honest with you. Ben out 100%. I'll be honest with you guys. Last time I played FIFA was like FIFA 2017. And the only time I would like fully just like switch off my PS4 and just switch it on again is if I lost to United. I just couldn't take it. I'd have to beat Man United. Like I'm sorry, I just have to. Anyway, I'm just gonna talk for 5-10 minutes, a short period of time, and then we drop the link. I just want to talk a little bit about kind of the Liverpool future. Since Ben is here, I actually wanted to listen to a few things. I want to talk about the future as well of this English Premier League and all of this, because today I actually got asked a very interesting question. Okay, Ben, you better beat them at Anfield, or I'm gonna slap the shit out of you. Don't let Man United kick you out the Europa League. We beat them with like the bad team we had, like the Klopp team which he inherited from Rodgers. You better beat them. Anyway, when it comes to Liverpool and kind of the future today, I was asked this question by a Barcelona fan, funnily enough, and he was like, "Hussam, what do you think Liverpool need to do to compete and all of this?" And my thing is as follows: like, I think Liverpool Football Club are 100% capable of competing with Manchester City for the English Premier League, and I think we were being delusional if we think Liverpool really are this bad. Like, I don't think this season is a true representative of Liverpool Football Club's levels. Like, I think Liverpool's levels are much higher than what we saw this season. I don't think the world-class players, all the class players, including the ones maybe that, maybe I criticize a lot, like Robertson, I don't think this season presents their true capabilities, their true ability. Even Salah, no one's played up to his level, I'd say, other than Alisson and this whole team. My question is, and I'm gonna tell you guys my perspective on it. I look more at this current Liverpool side like that Chelsea side, who had a horrible year and then went on to win the league a year after. I don't look at this Liverpool side as a team that is absolutely dreadful and everyone fell off and Fabinho's crap and Salah's crap and blah blah blah. Like, I kind of don't look at it that way. Van Dijk fell off. I think it's a bit too soon to be saying all of that. So for me, look, from just a purely emotional perspective, this is something I want Ben to listen to. From an emotional perspective, I understand why many Liverpool fans are upset. I get it. I'm upset too. When you see the likes of Rice linked to Arsenal, when you see the likes of Caicedo linked to Chelsea, when you see stuff like that, it's normal for you to get upset because you want to be linked to that level, to that caliber of player. So for me, I don't find it like annoying that the fan base is a little bit angry. Let people express their emotions. I have no problem with it. Let people be angry because I think they do have a case to be angry. They do have something to be angry about, which is kind of just a look at Liverpool's future. Because some people do kind of look at it from the perspective of like, oh man, what if we have a season like we did this year? And in my honest opinion, I don't think it's possible for us to be as bad as this season. That's my honest opinion, you guys. I really do not think Liverpool Football Club are capable of being as bad as we were this season. I just think we need to make the correct signings. We need to make the right signings, even though they're expensive or not, even though they're class or not. We need people to come in and make a difference for us. And I look at this current Liverpool team, and I've kept the energy the same regardless from the start. I've said MacAllister is an absolutely great start. I've said already, Alexis MacAllister could be the part of an absolutely horrible package or an absolutely unbelievable package. It's all about the package deal concept for Liverpool Football Club this summer. Do we get a centre-back? Is what elevates this transfer window to the next level. Do we get another midfielder, a third midfielder? That's what elevates this transfer window. The fullback that I've been talking to you guys about, its possibility, we get a fullback, that elevates Liverpool another level. So the thing is, I'm looking at this year the same way I looked at the start of last year when I was like, guys, we can compete, but we need to get this window right. And my thing is like that centre back position. I don't know how it took Bilal. Shout out to Bilal. I got a huge supporter of the channel and myself. Love you, Bilal. I don't know how Bilal took him 3 days to figure out that we need a centre back. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know how it took him 3 days to figure that out. I figured it out as soon as I saw 45 minutes with Joe Gomez and Matip. I'm like, nope, this can't run. Van Dijk and Gomez, Van Dijk can hide Gomez's deficiencies against the bottom 5, 6, 7 teams. Same with Matip. But I just don't like the idea of Matip and Van Dijk playing together, which is why I think we need a centre-back. Now, would I sit up here and start doing backflips and start breakdancing if we sign Mickey van den Ven? Absolutely not. I'm not going to sit up here and start dancing. But listen, hey, it's better than getting nothing. I hope it's a player. Albert, you want to co-host my call-in show? Let me know. I think definitely we need a centre back just in terms of position. And look, if the scouting team have done their job, George Schmatka has done his job, and he's done all of that, then okay, fair enough. If they think Mickey van den Ven is what's needed, then Mickey van den Ven is what's needed. And once again, I will mention something that I think maybe a lot of people don't think about or don't deep. I don't think people realize that in the Europa League group stages, guys, we're not going to be playing the serious teams. Like, and this is the thing as well. The Europa League knockout rounds only starts in February. And correct me if I'm wrong, January, February, March. If Liverpool Football Club top their Europa League group, then we only play till March because we have a bye of the round of 32. So we kind of go to the round of 16 directly. So I look at that entire situation, that entire scenario of us kind of just bypassing that whole group stage thing. Because I don't think there is a world in which Jurgen Klopp is taking the Europa League absolutely seriously. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I don't see a world in which Jurgen Klopp is out here like just fully taking the competition seriously and oh my God, the Europa League, blah, blah, blah. Bro, in the group stages, with all due respect, I'm playing the likes of Toulouse, I'm playing the likes of Bacca Topola, I'm playing clubs like that. With all due respect, I could bring out my B team and easily win the group. So with the Europa League, like I don't see it being a priority up until we get to the knockout stages. And knowing Liverpool Football Club and the way we operate, everyone in this comment section right here, right now, make sure you're liking the video first of all, would tell you this very second, we would know within the first 10 games whether Liverpool are in a title race or not. Everyone in this comment section right now who supports Liverpool Football Club would tell you, all we need is the first 10 games. After 10 games, me and Ali and Ravi and everyone in this comment section, regardless of who you support, within 10 games, we'd tell you, Liverpool are in the title race, Liverpool are not in the title race. We'd know already. Like, we wouldn't need this long-ass period and us sat there analyzing 500 games. Within 10 games, we would all know. Honestly, on a real level, right? Everyone, I think, would agree in this comment section. First 10 games, I already know. If on the first 10 games, we won 8, draw 2. In the first 10 games, we won 9, draw 1. In the first 10 games, we won 8, lost 1, drawn 1. I know, okay, Liverpool are meaning business this season. So this, for me, is a positive indication. So within the first 10 games, we'd already know what Liverpool Football Club are on. this season. So for me, these first 10 games are going to be important. And you look at even last season, the start that we had, Fulham, Palace, Man United, you already knew Liverpool ain't going to be on nothing this season. So I think the time required, within 10 games, we'd already know which position we would be in. And that, for me, our position in the Premier League is directly tied to what I see us doing in Europa. I've given the people 3 scenarios already, right? There's scenario number 1, in which Liverpool Football Club are not in the title race. If Liverpool Football Club are not in the title race, then I want us to take the Europa League 100% seriously, and that's come to be winning. If Liverpool Football Club are in the title race, and somehow, by some miracle, I'm just giving all possible scenarios. If somehow, by some miracle, Liverpool are like 15, 20 points ahead of whoever's in second place, then also I'd expect us to take the Europa League seriously. If the third scenario arises and Liverpool are ahead, but only by a little bit, I don't want us to take the Europa League seriously at all. And people will compare us to Arsenal. With all due respect, this is something I said on the spaces. We shouldn't be compared to Arsenal. Arsenal should want to be us. I don't want to be Arsenal. I hate this whole thing from our fan base. Just sat here comparing ourselves to Arsenal. Since when's Arsenal the measuring stick? With all due respect to Arsenal, Arsenal Football Club should want to move like Liverpool FC. They should want to win a Champions League. They should want to win a Premier League. They should use us as a reference for success for them. We shouldn't use Arsenal as a reference for success. With all due respect, I'm not saying this disrespectfully. If Liverpool Football Club were in Arsenal's position this year and we were like 8-10 points ahead, we would go on to win the English Premier League. We wouldn't lose to West Ham. We didn't draw to West Ham. We wouldn't draw to Southampton. We didn't get all these results. We'd win those games. So that's why I trust my football club. I trust my manager. I trust my world-class players to make the difference for me. So for me, I don't see us in a position in which, if we were in that same position Arsenal were in the Europa League, I don't see us losing it. So people go like, why don't we learn anything from Arsenal? I don't think we should push Arsenal we should push the Europa League to the side unless the title race, is tight. And we're sat there with like 5-6 points difference. Then with all due respect, ban the Europa League. I couldn't care less. And the position that we have ourselves into as Liverpool Football Club fans, we are 6-time Champions League winners, 3-time Europa League winners. We've won the Europa 3 times. We've won the Champs 6 times. It's not like we need a Europa League to solidify Klopp's legacy or something. Like, I couldn't care less. I'm going to be honest with you. We'll see if Klopp agrees with me, disagrees with me. We'll see from the starting lineups. We'll see from probably the first 2-3 games. We'll see what Klopp is on, what's his thought process regarding this competition. But for me, I'll keep the expectation, the standards as high as possible. I expect Liverpool Football Club to challenge. I expect Liverpool Football Club to win the league. Because before you know it, suddenly you've turned into Arsenal post-Highbury. New Emirates era Arsenal, where you're sat there going like, oh my God, getting top 4 is blah, blah, blah. And it's pivotal for us to get Champions League football. You know why the top 4 now is no longer an argument? Can I tell you guys an honest opinion? You know why it's no longer an argument? Because due to the whole heritage rule now that is employed in the new Champions League format, Liverpool Football Club could officially finish like 10th and still make the Champions League. It's not like we need to finish top 4 to make Champions League. We could finish 10th and make it. That's the thing. So getting top 4 is no longer like an, oh my God, this is a massive priority. They're going to take 5 teams from England anyway, and the 5th team is going to be a heritage team. And based on our coefficient, only Man City have a higher coefficient than us. So basically, we know Man City are going to finish in the top 4. So essentially, 2 years from now, we're guaranteed Champions League football. So that ain't a thing. Like, that's not a thing I'm going to sit here and hang my hat on. Like, oh my God, we got top 4. And like, what difference does it make anyway? It genuinely makes no difference. So yeah, that's my thought process. And there's just one comment I want to touch on from a guy earlier. He said, like, regarding the whole Thiago revisionism. And I agree with him. I think there's a lot of revisionism regarding Thiago Alcantara. And here's my thing. Just last year, Thiago Alcantara was in the Premier League team of the season. Thiago Alcantara is not a bum. Thiago Alcantara is not some random guy, with all due respect. Everyone right now would agree with this current statement. The problem with Thiago Alcantara is his injuries. It's never been Thiago Alcantara's quality. When he plays, he's directly our best midfielder. He's unbelievable. The only problem with Thiago is his injuries. I don't get the revisionism with Thiago. Even yesterday, when I was kind of doing the tactical breakdown show, and I was just playing a double pivot of Trent and Thiago, I said against the bottom 12 teams, I'd like to see that. People are like, Thiago. People are like, I'm like, bro, the only problem with Thiago is he's made from Weetabix, but his quality, you cannot question. You cannot question. Anyway, 13 minutes. That's enough. Thank you, Abdussalam. I agree with you. Everyone watching us right now, please do make sure you're slapping the like button. Do make sure you're subscribing to the channel if you're ready to do so. I want to drop the link, but get us to 100 likes, guys. Come on, you ain't new here. Albert is going to be my co-host, and we're going to do it in a lot more organized fashion. Once again, I'm going to say this one more time. There is no celebrity tax. First come, first serve. The order in which you join the video is the order in which I add you to the video. Simple as that. Me and Albert are going to do this together. He's going to co-host alongside myself. And yeah, you can discuss anything you want, but we're doing it in a more organized fashion. I think last time you guys liked the way we did it more than the way we're used to doing it. So instead of us just adding 12 people together and cramming it together, we're just going to be doing it like, 2 people at once alongside myself and Albert. So it's going to be me, Albert, and 2 guys. So that's basically what we're going to do. Anyway, so the link has been dropped. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing. Guys, there's 200 people here. I don't want to look down and we're not on 100 likes yet. Yalla, slap that like button. Yalla, subscribe to the channel. My lovely, lovely, lovely people. And the StreamYard link has been dropped and it has been pinned to the chat. So now it's pinned there. So yeah, slap the like button, subscribe. Let's hear all the people's different opinions. I want to see Mustache Mike. I want to see Albert. I want to see all the people. So where is Albert? Because I need him to co-host this. And he has arrived. So yeah. The link is in the comments. Anyone wants to join, feel free to do so. So my co-host has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. The man, the myth, the legend, my bald brother, man like Albert. How are you doing, my brother, before we add our first 2 guests?
Doing very well.
I'm glad you're good, man.
For your information, next Friday, I'm 54. So.
Let's go. We need to host a special birthday party for Albert. I can't lie to you guys. Big up Albert, man. Big up my brother. So the first 2 that got here were...
send me some food from my restaurant, my favorite restaurant in Petra.
Let's go. I actually might be going to Petra next week anyway. So
beautiful
yeah,
place,
I'll make sure to send you something. Anyway, let me just add the first 2 guests that joined us today. So it was Yuvraj. Arij, just show me that it's actually you, my brother, so I can add you and then you can turn off your camera. Arij, I see you in the back. Just show me your face so I know it's actually you because I've seen your face before. And then you can turn off your camera if you would like. And Arij cannot hear us. Wow. Yes, my brother. Okay, all good. Perfect. So, Albert, since you're my co-host, I'm going to start with you. Go ahead. What do you want to talk about today?
I want to give my fellow EPL teams some advice. Please don't buy any Chelsea player early. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever to rush to buy a Chelsea player. They need to offload. They need money to buy new players. Don't fund Todd Bowley's profligacy. Wait, if you need a Chelsea player, wait till nearly the end of the window because you get it for less, and you don't fund his tendency to rush in and chase every player everybody's chasing. You guys should listen to me. It's the art of war. Sun Tzu's third law of the art of war. Don't fund your enemy's war against you. Other thing is, I've been watching a little bit of the Argentine league, and I am really liking Alan Varela. I think that as cheap
what
as...
are you liking? Sorry, say that again.
Alan Varela, the Argentine kid we've been linked with. Since we like cheap and he's available for 15 million euros, he's the best 15 million euro player we can get in that position. He's definitely more energetic than Fabinho. And We need players like that. We simply are not going to spend the money to fund the big game. So let's do what we need to do and do it early. I've given up on these guys. I don't know whether you saw James Pearce's article. Once again,
Oh God.
he wrote that, I wish I had it, I read it to you. He said Liverpool are willing to forego buying big time players this season so that we can buy them next season when we have the financing that the team is looking for comes in. I'm like, what? What?
We're doing it again.
Yeah, doing it again. Notice how every time the transfer window comes, we are suddenly being told that some financing is coming in. That all of a sudden the financing that the team is looking for is coming in. It's getting old, man. Buy whoever you want to buy, just buy it early. Stop wasting our time. Because I have this thing. You can't buying expensive players does not a team make. You know, some of the best players in the EPL and elsewhere who day in day out play the best football. Some of them didn't even cost a dime. Some of them cost very little. This Caicedos and the Julian Alvarez's and the Enzo Fernandez's that everybody's chasing or was chasing, they didn't cost that much if you buy them right. See, the thing is, buy it right. Don't wait for somebody else to buy Alan Varela and then in 2 years' time you go and pay 80 million pounds for it. Let's get in on that act too. I think it's only fair that we go. We are the big boys. Get in on the act. If it's good, get it whilst it's good.
Mm-hmm.
But don't get me wrong. I don't think Declan Rice is worth 120 million pounds. I don't think Caicedo is a 100 million pound player. I don't believe that at all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll address that now in a second. I think there's a Chelsea fan as well waiting in the background, so we'll get to him. Yuvraj, my brother, the floor is yours. Talk to me.
Yeah, big up for some, big up the chat. Look, I mean, I just want to say, I'm happy that we're linked with Thuram and Kone them a lot, but we really, as a Liverpool Football Club, we should be linked with the Caicedos, Rices, the big names, you know? We're meant to be a big football club, right? We are a big football club, but we act like a small club. Like, it's just, this, as much as I like Kone and Thuram, I think they're great players. We need to be linked with the better players, like the high tiers, like a Bellingham, Barella, them lot. And honestly, like, it's just next summer FC every time. It's just like, if you're FSG, and I don't know how to convince you anymore, because I don't know how you're FSG and still if you're FSG in. Like, they never give the manager the funds, and we gotta start. Every time we want to protest, half the fans back FSG every time. Our fan base still backs FSG, which is actually stupid. I'm not gonna lie. It's just, we need to start. Well, the actual fans on Twitter just need to start calling this out, because, you know, we have to start protesting. But of course, these fans on Twitter won't. Like, it's just annoying, man. We have these owners, and look, I'm worried about the future, because when Klopp goes, I'm worried, because these owners are not going to sell. These owners are just going to, they're using us as like a money, like, you know, to earn money, and they don't care about us. They don't care about Liverpool Football Club. And look, we need to call this out. Half the fans need to call this out, but I don't know how our fans are FSG in. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to say. I mean, it's
big up you, Brad. And listen, I must say this. I agree with you completely. I said this on the previous show. I think it was yesterday. I have no idea how people are FSG in 2023. I'm gonna be honest with you. It just makes no logical sense. I mean, we have Arij, who we're gonna go to in a second, who's a Man United fan. His fan base is 99% Glazers out. You know, the rest of the fan bases, they don't accept this crap from anyone except us for some godly reason. I do not know what it is. I wish I could tell you the reason, but I really can't, because I don't know. I have. At this moment in time, in my honest opinion, there is just simply absolutely zero reason for you to be FSG. I don't think currently, you look at the way, and by the way, You know how I told you I've just called out all the FSG inners on their BS when they tell you, oh my god, if this happens, I'm gonna do this. This happens, I'm gonna do that. You look at you know, the FSG inners, and they were saying pre this summer started, if they don't give Jurgen Klopp what he wants, we're all gonna be FSG out. Well, clearly Jurgen Klopp is not getting what he wants, but still no one's FSG out. So it's just, I think right now this whole FSG in movement has kind of become like just an ego thing. Like I think it's just become an ego thing for people to go like, yes, I'm the most positive guy on earth, and I'm the guy who's going to do this, and I'm the guy who's going to do that.
If we didn't get Bellingham, there would be FSG out. Didn't they say that?
Yeah, they said, every single one of them said that. And we didn't get Bellingham, so why aren't they FSG out?
Now we got MacAllister. Now we got MacAllister making songs. Yeah, we're forgetting FSG.
You know what? I hate to say this, as much as Klopp out as I have been, I'm soon going to become Klopp in, because I can't imagine a world where a manager asks for Josko Gvardiol in January and you tell him, no, I'll give you Mickey van der Ven in the summer.
Thank you.
And if you're a manager...
And you know, sorry, Albert, let me just say one thing. I want to make something clear. If the club come out and say we don't want Gvardiol because he doesn't fit what Klopp's trying to do, or he doesn't fit the new system, or he doesn't fit, you know, something tactically, I'd have no problem with that. But don't come tell me we can't sign Gvardiol because of money, when 6 months ago you're telling me we've overtaken Man United in revenue and we've done this and we've done that. It's just illogical. You have to be logical as well.
Liverpool, the owners of Liverpool and the West third world dictatorship, there's no difference. They have a solid PR machine.
The only reason we bought MacAllister was because he's cheap. If it was 70 million, you think we would have bought?
No chance. There's no way you're gonna get him. No chance.
No, like
I also think that along the line, MacAllister simply wanted to come to Liverpool because he said something. And in reading between the lines, he said, oh, the atmosphere at Anfield is like the atmosphere at La Bombonera. And he has some reason why he wants to come to Liverpool. Because he could have gone to Manchester City very easily if he wanted to. So, I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Hossam, something very interesting happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
Some lady who claims to live near, basically in Liverpool, near Anfield, goes to Anfield, whatever. And I put out a Twitter message that I think that we should be very concerned about what the kid, what's his name, Jude, said in his interview with The Sun. Then she jumped on me. A true Liverpool supporter doesn't read The Sun. And I said, you don't have to read a newspaper these days to know what they said. Oh, she just went off, and I just absolutely went berserk. And I asked her, what the hell makes you think that just because you think you live near Anfield, and of course they use what they always use. Have you ever been to Anfield? So I sent her a copy of my DM, my NFC reader. She said, you probably stole it. Your English, listen to this. Your English is even foreign. So I said, I was waiting for that. You damned racist. How can you tell that somebody writing English on Twitter is writing foreign English? And I said, I'm taking that as a compliment because it means that you know I write good English. And I said, next time I get to Anfield, I'll call you. You know, the supporters of Liverpool are so grateful. And the gratitude has now become steeped in something completely different. So they can't see beyond their noses where these people are concerned. They don't even remember that the journalists that spread the propaganda, and it is propaganda, what they said before, what they said the next time. If you take the things that James Pearce has said since last year, Paul Joyce has said since last year, you will catch out all the things that FSG have said and haven't done. But hey, there's a particular special one in which he said the FSG are willing to back Klopp for everything that he wants with a lot of money, right? Now Klopp says, I want Gvardiol, which was in January. Now you say we are giving him Mickey van der Ven in the summer. And oh, by the way, van der Ven can run, but he can't jump. I mean, geez.
Yeah.
I feel
there's a reason. Listen, in football, 99% of the time, you get what you pay for, and there's a reason why Gvardiol cost 100 million. I'm sorry, like it's just how life works. I know people might not want to hear that, but it's the truth.
But granted, we understand that many of these players are overpriced, but RB Leipzig want a player of ours on a permanent basis. So why don't they negotiate and take the price? Look, we don't lose anything, really. We don't lose anything if Carvalho goes. We don't lose anything, really. Because Klopp has already told him, you are not part of my plans. And he's made it public because the kid is troublesome. Okay? So negotiate with him. Let it come down to 60 million. If you're going to get Gvardiol for a net amount of 60 million, 65 million, and the guy is 21 years old, isn't that a 10-year commitment? What is it that they don't understand? But let's watch them. They'll get us Mickey van der Ven. He can.
And let's be honest. Kone and Thuram weren't even Klopp targets. I know, obviously, I don't think they were even Klopp targets. I think the Klopp targets were MacAllister, Jude, and probably Barella and them lot. Just because they're cheap and he knows what FG can do, he probably chose the target of Thuram and Kone because that's probably the only thing he can do with the budget he has. Like, I don't think Kone and Thuram are his targets, to be honest. I think it's just because the Klopp knows the owners. So I just think he's going for them too because they're cheap. Because, you know. But yeah, it's just annoying, man. These owners won't sell, sadly. Yes.
I hear you, Vlad. Let's go to Arij next, Man United fan. Talk to me, brother. What are you saying?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yo. This is like a proper therapy session. You guys are tired of your owners. Even I'm fucking tired of my owners, man. Literally, like, It's been 8 months since we went up for sale. Nothing. It's exclusivity, another bid. Ten Hag was on level on points with City on mid-Jan. He was 5 points behind Arsenal. You know what the Glazers did? They gave him Wout Weghorst. They gave him Sabitzer. And now Kim Min-jae is going to Bayern. And we're chasing Mason Mount. We can't get Harry Kane because Glazers are going to be in charge. But the season
apparently on Højlund as well. Højlund,
is fine. Like, we need 2 strikers. Kane is probably one. We need a senior striker and a young striker.
Do you think you're signing Mbappe, by the way? Mbappe. Do you think?
If Qatar comes, then inshallah.
Inshallah not.
But no. You guys, you see, in a way,
I can't lie to you guys though from a Man United perspective. Sorry, Albert, let me just say this. You guys, like, there is a little bit of a downgrade. Because at the start of the summer transfer window, you guys were talking about like Kane and the best of the best. And now you're sat here talking about Mount and Højlund. So you have downgraded.
Qatar would be here.
And apparently
Qatar would be here.
But when you say Qatar will be here, Qatar won't be here for this current window.
And apparently,
because it should be.
I don't know if it's true. Apparently, this ownership could take 8 to 12 weeks. I don't know if that's true.
Yes, that's the start of the season, basically.
Even if, let's say, Qatar win the bid tomorrow and they become your new owners officially, that does not mean that you're going to have them for this summer transfer window anyway. I'm just talking about the downgrade.
Obviously, the Premier League process is going to take like 4 or 5 weeks max. But they'd be in control of the club, I feel like. As soon as they wipe the debt off, apparently we'd be able to spend 50-60 million more. So that would increase our budget to nearly 200 million. In 200 million, we could have gotten Kim Min-jae. And with sales and all, we could have gotten Højlund. We could probably get a goalkeeper easily. De Gea is probably leaving. So Onana, Costa, we could have gone for them if we had 100 million plus player sales. So that's nearly 300 million to spend.
And
now we're stuck with 120 plus player sales.
Because look, if you sold because the thing is, right, Ten Hag, he can't buy anyone because he doesn't know the budget. Like, he does not know the budget.
Yeah, exactly.
Which does not help the situation.
He's been finessed. I mean, the Glazers have finessed the whole club.
Listen, I think Ten Hag would have got Kane if he knew the budget. Like,
absolutely.
But now he's going to get probably Højlund and Mount. So I don't know.
I feel like Mount has always been Ten Hag's target because it's always been Mount first linked since the season ended.
But
We needed two strikers, so Højlund is obviously.
let me ask you a question, because I've just said this before you joined. I don't know whether you heard it. Why are you people trying to fund Todd Bowley's financial mismanagement of his club?
No, you think I want Mount? I don't want.
Great question.
Another question. If you have £50 million to buy Mount, why wouldn't you simply add a little bit more to buy somebody like Caicedo?
Or even Barella.
Exactly. Caicedo would be 80.
Or somebody else. See, in this business, don't put around, excuse me to say this, let me not offend anybody who I don't mean to.
Be careful then, don't say it. Don't say it.
No, I mean, I'm saying it's a euphemism. Don't put a round in somebody's revolver and play Russian roulette with it, right? Don't do that. Because if you pay £50 million to Todd Bowley, that goes £50 million towards buying Caicedo or towards buying signing that they now want to.
I remember Arsenal are going to go Havertz as well. Arsenal are going to help Chelsea as well.
Yeah, exactly. Arsenal,
I don't want also buy.
Why, in the name of garbage, to quote my good friend Bruno, why would you spend £70 million on Kai Havertz?
Yeah. And I think...
why would you spend 50-60 million on Mason Mount?
On Mason Mount?
I think fans...
the rumor that I hear from an Arsenal friend of mine is that they really wanted to buy Ivan Toney. And because Toney has been suspended, they are now going for Havertz. And I'm like, wait for Toney. What's the big deal? Wait for him. I mean, I was spending a ton of money on Havertz.
Listen, I want us to wait for us to add an Arsenal fan, because there is one in the background.
Because Hossam, you always say this, right? There are some players.
Albert, I want you to ask it to an Arsenal fan. That's it.
No, I'm just saying something about Kai Havertz.
Arsenal fan waiting in the background. I want
Let
you to
me say
ask
something about Kai Havertz. He's one of those players that you describe as not doing anything in particular well.
Literally one moment he's had, and that was the Champions League final. Like
he's literally the Chelsea Divock Origi, man. Let's just put it this way. Anyway,
he had more clutch moments.
I just want to say
he did. Origi probably had more moments for Liverpool than Havertz.
Havertz is ass, bro.
I think we're so used to I think you said this to someone. We're so used to saying that give the manager. We always have to back the manager's signings. Mason Mount. Like, you can comment on Manchester City, you can say they made a mistake. Like, it's not like...
that's what I'm saying. I don't want Mount. I'm Man United. I support them, but I don't want Mount.
And I like that about Origi. He's not going just like, oh my God, Ten Hag wants Mount, so he's 100% right. It's okay. You can criticize. You can be realistic. I wasn't backing Klopp when he wanted Mount. I said, no, that's going to be the wrong signing. Simple as. So, yeah, that's my thing. But anyway, big up to you, Origi. Big up to you, Vraj. We've got a hell of people waiting in the background, so I appreciate you coming on. Big up to you guys. Big up. Big up Origi, big up to you, Vraj, my brothers. Thank you guys so much. See you guys in the comments section. So now joining us, we've got a Liverpool fan and a United fan as well. The same start we had. Jake is going to be joining us, and Miguel. 205 people are watching us right now. Please do not forget to slap the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to This Is Football if you're ready to do so right now. So big up to Jake. Big up to Miguel. Go on, Jake. Talk to me, brother. What are you saying?
Bro. Like, what is this guy on about in the chat section about Man United? Did you see what he said? He said that they're bigger than Liverpool. Did you know the other day that when Man City went ahead of Chelsea, they had to make up a new football chart? Did you know that Liverpool was top of that chart and Man United was second?
Yeah.
So all these people need to understand that Liverpool are bigger the Man United in this era. Like, it doesn't matter about 13 Prems. What matters is 19 titles and 6 UCLs to 20 titles and 3 UCLs. We're bigger. Like, it's just as simple as that. Because we got double UCLs and they've got 1 title more than us. So you work out the maths, Susan. Am I wrong?
No, I agree with you. I think Liverpool are a bigger club too.
Yeah, and when they made the charts the other day, because they had to show Chelsea were bigger, Liverpool were right up the top. But what I want to talk about really is this MacAllister signing worries the hell out of me, Hussam.
Why?
Why? Because if you go on our track record of signing players, we sign one player towards the start of the summer, and then we start posting fucking investment shit, making excuses. It's already starting to happen. I really think that we just buy this MacAllister and that's it.
No,
I really do believe that.
It's impossible. It's impossible
Bro,
for that.
I've seen it so many
Jake,
times.
you know I'm FSG out too, right? You know it. But also,
yeah, but bro, I've seen these signs.
It's not possible for us to just sign him. It's impossible.
Hussam,
I said, by the way, you know, you saw me shave my head. I said if Liverpool only sign MacAllister, I'll dye my hair pink and cut my hair again on the channel. Like, it's just not gonna happen.
But bro, you jinx it, don't, because you probably end up dying.
There is zero chance we sign only MacAllister.
In
it's
Ghana,
impossible.
In Ghana, in my local dialect, we have a
If we sign only him, by the way, Klopp might walk out. Let me tell you. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's impossible.
In Ghana, in my local dialect, we have a proverb. He said, if you've been bitten by a snake, you run away from worms. You see, Jake is right. We've seen it over and over and over.
Yeah.
I've
seen the same movie, man.
During the course of this program,
no, but it's impossible for the summer, Albert.
I'm gonna dig up what James Pearce wrote. It's frightening.
Bro, it's FSG though. It doesn't matter what we want. It's what they want to do. If they don't want to spend, they won't fucking spend. I've seen this movie before. Albert's right. Like, we buy a player towards the beginning of the summer, and then all summer they string us along. Or investment, or we might need to let a player go so we can make up money. I've seen it.
That's why when the whole investment stuff was released, I called Cap on it direct. I knew there was no investment.
Hussam,
did that worry you when they released that?
Let me just answer your question. Here's my thing. I understand where you're coming from, and there is a reason why I'm FSG out. I'm not FSG in, I'm FSG out. I dislike FSG. I hate FSG. I want FSG out of my club. And you know, Jake, I was part of the people who organized the plane to fly over Anfield. So you know how much I hate FSG.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's literally impossible for us to just sign MacAllister. 100% we're gonna sign another midfielder. Minimum. I'm talking about bare minimum, worst case scenario. There's another guy coming in. So look, I understand why you're worried, and exactly what Albert just said is true. Like, we've seen it happen before, so it wouldn't shock us. But this summer, it's not going to happen that we just sign MacAllister. I'm telling you right now.
So do you think we can get Thuram? Do you think that's done?
Yes, I'm positive we get Thuram. But Jake, this is the difference between me and others. And you know, this is why I've kept it real from the start. Look, I will not come here and say a deal is done before it's done. You know me.
Yeah.
I'm not an ITK. I'm not a wannabe, oh my God, journalist, all of this. No. I say it as it is. I do not think Kefren Thuram is quote-unquote done yet. That's just BS. So it's not done. But if you ask me, am I confident he'll join us? I'll say yes, I'm confident he joined us. So I have confidence that he'll join us.
Bro, another thing I wanted to ask. Did you see Trent in the England game in midfield?
Of course. Hey.
Fucking hell.
What a player, man.
Mate, he's better than Jude Bellingham. Did you see his pass?
Bro, he's unbelievable.
Bro, no one, not even De Bruyne can compete with that. That pass was insane.
Bro,
like, it was Messi style. Albert, did you see Trent? Albert, did you see Trent's pass?
I watched it gavel to gavel. Why would I miss Trent? Listen, I was gonna jump on Hussam, give him a mea culpa, half a mea culpa, and then jump on him because Hussam says Trent can play solely in the middle.
No, he's amazing. No, he's just world class. He can play anywhere. He could be a striker.
On the right side.
Albert,
do you know what? Trent could be a striker if he wanted to play anywhere.
If we play him as an 8, we are misusing him.
You see the way.
You
see what Southgate intentionally did to Klopp. Gave him the jersey, put him on the side of a 3 because Klopp had been calling him out. Right? Why would you put the best fullback in midfield? He put him in midfield. He scores a goal.
And then Klopp put him inverted anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Klopp is so shameless, man.
Next season is we're gonna you see. And to Jake's point, one more thing, talking about to Jake's point, FSG are gonna see a movement of Trent into midfield as a new signing.
No. Guys,
I
I
fucking
told
love
you,
it,
listen.
man.
Guys, listen, let me just say this. As I said, guys, please understand, you're not speaking to a top red here. I'm not FSG in, I'm FSG out. But at the same time, just from a realistic perspective, it is absolutely impossible for us to just sign MacAllister and dip. We're going to sign
Oh,
other
bro,
players.
they were talking about you the other day as well. The top reds, they had a
Osam,
space and they were
Osam, do you
talking about you,
understand
man.
why? Do you understand why some of us choose
Who
to
was
be
talking
agnostic?
about me? LFC
Top
for
reds,
life?
man. I got the bro. You know how I know things, even when I'm not on Twitter. There was a space, and they name dropped you as
Yeah.
They said you're the Arsenal fan TV of Liverpool. That's what they said.
Hey,
They were like, oh,
it
this
is
Sam
what
guy
it is.
does it for clout. They were fully slagging
Jake, I'll be honest
ACs.
with you. People like me and you who are FSG out are more real Liverpool fans than the FSG inners. It's as simple as that. Like,
yeah,
they
100%. We care.
it's
We got
become,
ambition.
It's getting to the stage where I think they support FSG, not LFC. Honestly, like it's just that bad.
But Osam, you understand why some of us are agnostic, right? Is to protect.
Yes, I understand 100%. But at the same time, Albert, we're not just gonna spend 35 million.
All of a sudden, you see, I have learned to understand in life. Friday will be 54 years. That nothing happens by accident. All of a sudden, Alan Varela's name has come back into the ether. Do you realize that? Because it's a £10 million signing. You see, they are going to go halfway between what you're saying and what Jake is saying. My suspicion. They are going to go halfway. They are going to
get that kid Varela, that kid from South America.
They are going to get a few cheapies and count them as numbers. Add.
Albert and Jake, when we get Kefren Thuram,
I'll apologize.
Call you guys out on the video.
I think Thuram will come.
Okay, then that's not an unproven talent.
The only way Thuram doesn't come to Liverpool is if Jim Ratcliffe wins the bid. He'll take him to Manchester United.
No. I don't think so. Thuram wants to join Liverpool, you guys. Listen.
By the way, I don't think United again Qatar, by the way.
The only way we don't get Thuram is if we don't put forth the money. That's it.
Yeah.
Simple as. So for me, it's
boys, I'm gonna go against the grain here. I don't think the United get Qatar, and I'm really positive as well. I think.
Bro, I hope you're
no.
right.
Listen to me. I got a reason why. I think that the Glazers want Ratcliffe because they still want a bit of power there. Do you know what I mean? They still get 30% if they take Ratcliffe. They don't have to accept the Qatar because Qatar don't want the Glazers anything to do with them. So why the fuck would Glazers take that bid when they can still? I know the United fans don't want to hear this, but if I'm the Glazers, I'm taking Ratcliffe all day. Because you still get money out the club.
United fans, we've got Miguel here. We can ask him. Go on, Miguel. Talk to me, bro.
Big up. You can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, bro, we can hear you.
All right, no problem. To be honest, from what I've heard there, I mean, I agree to some extent because obviously the Glazers have already put us into the bloody shit for how long they've already been here for the time they've been at Man United. But I think if they go for Radcliffe, it 100% F's us even. It'll put us into a worse spot than we already are. If we're being
they don't
honest,
care though. So,
well,
I'm just going to tell you, they don't care.
They're
like FSG. They don't care about you. They're going to do what they want to do. They're going to do what they want to do for them. They don't care about you. Same way as my owners don't care about me. American owners, all they care about is themselves. Getting that bag. That's all they care about.
Legit. Can I just say?
That's true. They care about their pockets.
The Premier League should legit ban Americans from buying Premier League clubs ever again. or legit.
That will never happen. I'm an international.
I wish somehow what he's saying actually happens, but I agree with Albert. I don't think that's ever gonna happen.
Yeah,
so let me just ask Miguel a question since you're here. Are you as well worried of what Jake just said regarding the whole like they might choose Ratcliffe thing? Do you see a world in which that happens?
I mean, it's the Glazers. I mean, it probably might happen because like this takeover has been going on for like 8 months now. 8 months, and like it's just been back and forward. We want more bids. We want this price. We want control and all this BS. But honestly, as much as I want the Qataris in, but hey, it's the Glazers world, and we're just living in it. I can bet you that they're probably going to choose the Radcliffe just for them to stay at the club, take the money out, and just do what they want, and just bloody ruin us, mate. Honestly. But
so you do see a world in which Radcliffe actually signs for you.
I do see it. I
do.
Yes.
I have a different take on it.
Go on.
I think the Glazers used Jim Radcliffe to get the Qataris to up their bid. Because the Glazers...
Sorry, say that again, Albert. I don't get it.
I said the Glazers used Jim Radcliffe to get the Qataris to up their bid.
Oh, right, could be.
Because the Qataris have upped their bid 3 times. And don't forget that it's not only Avram and his brother. There are 5 of them. Yeah. 3 of them want completely out. And see, no,
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
No matter how much you want to meddle in the affairs of Manchester United with Jim Radcliffe, if somebody has put $1 billion in front of you each, you take it and you walk. Because you can do anything you want with the money. You can hire as many jets as you like with the money. You don't need anybody to pay you.
Guys, you do realize it'll be a sports washing. Like the Premier League will be a farmers' league. If it's 3 powerhouses, it's done for everyone else.
No, Jake, I disagree with you. Let me tell you what. You do you. And let everybody also do them. If FSG are going out and acquiring the players we need and not giving Klopp Van de Ven when he needs Gvardiol, there is no problem. You are the one who talked about the size of Liverpool. And I agree with you.
Yeah, we are a big club, but we're not acting like it.
You know what I agree with you? For 30 years, we are in the wilderness. People still support Liverpool massively. Go to the Far East. We have massive support. America, just today.
I lived there for a 1.5 years in the Far East.
Just today.
Plenty of Liverpool fans.
1 hour ago, I bought some merchandise from Nike, Liverpool merchandise. In fact, this is one of them. And it was a little bit of
Why are you putting money in FSG's pocket?
Yeah, what are you doing, bro?
It's like a drug. I can't help myself.
Me and Hussam can hook you up with DH Gate, man, and you can just get the stuff replica. Get reps. I'll drop you a link, man, and you could go on there. Trust me, it's legit.
I had to return it, right? I had to return it. And so I got the code and everything from UPS. When I got to the UPS store, as soon as the guy who was taking the return saw me, he said, I'm a massive Liverpool fan. So there were so many people behind me. He conversed with me for about 10 minutes because of Liverpool. We're a massive club. And as long as we do us, right? Never mind what anybody is spending. What? So
you're still lying in John Henry's pocket,
so if you've gone and spent, let's say you've gone and bought Ruben Diaz, Ruben Diaz, and we've bought Gvardiol, big deal. If you've bought, can you buy Mbappe? You can't buy Mbappe. So I'm just saying, man, let's do us. Let them.
Okay, I hear you. I hear you guys. And
we can't compete though, Albert, how can we compete with 3 superpowers? Me and Hussam were talking about the other day. There's no chance.
Jake, FSG are going to sell anyway. I'm going to be honest with you.
Who are they going to sell to? Who?
FSG, let me tell you.
What, to buy,
waiting for the United.
They are waiting to benchmark Liverpool to the United.
Yeah. So I think what they're doing is they're waiting.
Do you think we might get those Chinese people, the trillionaires? Do you think we might get them?
Jake. Let me
just say this. I think they're waiting for United's sale, and when United gets sold, they're gonna do one of 2 things. They're either gonna be shameless, and they're gonna go like, we make more revenue than Man United, so they're probably gonna value us equal to them, or what they're gonna do is they're going to market exactly what Albert says. So let's say, for the sake of argument, Man United gets sold for 6 billion. We say Liverpool are only going to accept 5.5 billion, for example. So that type of thing. So that's what I think. It could be one of these 2 things, to be honest with you. But eventually they're going to leave. Eventually they're leaving.
Let me tell you what they will do and market anywhere. In America, the financial reporting laws, right, enjoins them that if they sell that entity in the UK, they have to come here and come and pay tax. Okay, and the capital gains tax in the US are pretty high. But if you take that money and buy another franchise, you don't have to pay any tax. Right? So as soon as they are ready with their bid for the basketball franchise in Las Vegas, they would have benchmarked Liverpool to the Man United sale. They'll sell and they'll leave. That's it.
Okay.
They may have enough. They may have enough change to buy a Big Mac on their way home, but they will sell.
Okay, I hear you. Anyway, big up to Jake. Big up to Miguel. We've got people waiting in the background. Big up to you guys. Thank you for joining us, my lovely people. Big up Jake, big up Miguel. See you guys in the comment section. Next up, we've got Ashraf and Christopher coming on. Before we add them, let me just run through these super chats. Big up to Here to There, who says, facts, Uncle Albert. Havertz equal the end of Edu and Arteta. And I'm so glad, first of all, Here to There, thank you for being a real Arsenal fan, because I can't lie, most Arsenal fans get rattled when you say this. They start telling you you're hating. When I did it on the terrace, people just started getting triggered. And I'm saying, like, Arsenal fans actually just want you guys to win, you know? So it is what it is. But thank you, Here to There. Big up to Messi FC, says James Ward-Prowse, plus he's part Ghanaian. Albert, you're so shameless, Messi FC. How you say James Ward-Prowse is part Ghanaian? This guy. And big up to Matome Trevor, who just sends in an empty super chat. Big up to you, my brother. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the love you've shown us. We've got 230 people watching us. Call-in show was promised. Call-in show is delivered. Make sure you're slapping the like button. Make sure you're subscribing to This Is Football if you're ready to do so. Next up is a debutant and an angry United fan joining us. I actually don't know who Ashraf supports, but we welcome Ashraf for the first time. Big up to you, my brother. We welcome Christopher. Ashraf, since I'm curious who you support, tell me who you support and what you want to talk about today. Talk to me, brother.
Yeah, I super chatted you yesterday. Big up Sam, big up everyone. It was I'm an Arsenal fan.
Big up, my brother. Big up.
Yeah. So I don't know why that's so funny. But
yeah. You'll have to also Mason Mount. Now you're getting Havertz. You can never chat to me. No Champions League. Hold that.
I mean,
chill,
okay.
chill.
Good job. But good luck with your Glazers and everyone. Look, I think for us, I just want to see us be a lot more ruthless in the market. I mean, I know it's still early days. It's like 2 months left, but right now, given everything that's going on with like Liverpool and obviously like, you know, the mess that's going on with United, not sure who the new owners are going to be, if Grizz is even going to sell. Like, I just feel like we have an opportunity to take advantage of the situation. I mean, obviously, like, whether people like to admit it or not, like last season was a very good season for Arsenal. Yeah, it didn't end in the best possible way, obviously. Like, I think a lot of us were hoping we could go a bit further, but we still did put a title challenge for majority of the season, and we have a chance to push on right now with that. So, you know, people keep talking about, oh, Declan Rice or Caicedo. I think we should have gone for both, in my opinion. I think we get Declan Rice, we get Caicedo. I saw some links with Cancelo as well. I don't know if that's true or not, because Bayern Munich came out and said they can't afford him. I think if we want to be ruthless and we want to compete with this City team, we go in the market and we say, you know what, 200 million if it takes. We get Caicedo, we get Declan Rice, we get Cancelo, and I think just that automatically makes us the favorite to challenge Man City next season. Yeah, of course, City are still going to be. Just seeing this money pinching tactic that we do sometimes, and oh, they want 120 million, so we started 80 million. And we have always done this. I still get so pissed off about the Suarez time when we did like the 40 million and one, just so we could start negotiating with him. Yeah, he went on to achieve amazing things with Barca later, but like, I mean, we always like try to dilly-dally with these little like things, especially when we are able to like just push over the line. So yeah, man, I just hope we can be ruthless and go. I don't think that's going to happen, by the way. I think we're going to get Declan Rice. We're probably going to get some right back to compete or cover for Ben White. And I don't think we're actually going to go all out this market. And I feel like that'll be a big problem for us.
Okay, first of all, Ashraf, I'm so happy you said all of this as an Arsenal fan, because so many Arsenal fans get rattled when I say it. You said everything I said. You said everything I said, even on the terrace. And listen, with all due respect to Arsenal fans, I'm not like disrespecting your football club. I'm just saying I expect Arsenal to be serious. And I've always given the example. Liverpool Football Club lost the Champions League final to Real Madrid the day after we signed Fabinho. All this waiting and waiting and waiting. Big up to JJ says ولدنا أشرف واعي لازم تكون
Gunnar.
لازم تكون جونر. حسام ندعو لك بداية. مستحيل أخوي مستحيل أكون جونر. أنا I'm a Liverpool fan through and through JJ. But thank you for the super chat أخي. Never gonna leave Liverpool Football Club. I'm not those guys who's gonna go on loan to another club or anything. But here's what I'll tell you, and I'm happy JJ and all the Arsenal fans are listening. Big up Omar and stuff. Here's the thing. Look, Brighton are a selling club. Brighton are always willing to sell if you offer the right price. From Declan Rice's perspective, Ashraf, I have no problem with Arsenal waiting because there was a Conference League final. That's the biggest game in West Ham history. So I think them waiting is real. It's realistic. It's a genuine thing. You have to wait till the guy's done with his final. But then you go to like Caicedo, the whole Caicedo situation. If you're Arsenal Football Club, you're kind of in a similar situation to Liverpool where you know Chelsea are going to outbid you because they're reckless and dumb. My light just went off. I'm going to go get another light. What's it called? You know Chelsea, as I said, are reckless, and you know Man United as well could outbid you if they wanted to. So what you need to do is you need to do your business swift and early, because just like us, you guys don't like to get into bidding wars. And I look at that Brighton situation. Brighton are a willing club to sell. Brighton love selling players. They're a selling club. Brighton are not a club that's going to say no to selling players, but they're just waiting for you to put the price in that they want and do all of that. And if you do it, they'll sell you their player. So I understand why you waited for Rice, but it makes no sense waiting for Caicedo. If I was in Arsenal's position and I wanted to show the whole league, listen, we're serious. We're not here to play. The moment the season ends, I'm calling Brighton. I'm saying, how much for Caicedo? You look at De Zerbi. He came out, he said, I think Caicedo and MacAllister are going to leave. And, you know, it's kind of like Liverpool done their part. Like, here we have MacAllister, you know. Where's your part, Arsenal? And I know people will say he had a release clause, which is fair. That's a fair argument. However, I think Brighton, because of the situation they're in, because they're a willing selling club, they would have accepted the bid if you made it directly and seriously. Just tell me your thoughts on that before we go to Chris. Go on.
No, I 100% agreed. Look, I'm going to be honest. In my opinion, I wish we went for MacAllister instead, because I feel like, given that we're getting Declan Rice, having two DMs in Partey and Declan Rice is already good enough. And having someone like MacAllister who plays more as an 8 versus a 6 is a much better fit for us.
You wanted MacAllister more than Caicedo?
Yeah. I think for our team, having two DMs in Partey and Declan Rice is enough, in my opinion, right? And even Jorginho, who I don't think is good enough. But when he filled in when we bought him in January and he was filling in, he did okay, like in a few games. So we're talking about a situation where Declan Rice and Partey are both injured. That's when Jorginho is going to fit in. I feel like getting 3 DMs is a bit too much. However, like Caicedo is still better than the other options out there for sure. So I definitely think we should have gone for him. I agree with you about the Declan Rice.
When you start talking about the likes of Lavia isn't going to take you to a Prem title. That's the thing.
Yeah, I agree. Look, I like Lavia. I think he's so talented, but I don't think we need experience in our team. Like, and I mean experience of
19.
Sorry?
19. Lavia's 19.
Young.
Yeah.
He made a mistake against Liverpool. Like, he was a bit dodgy against
And just for me.
Can I just say one thing quickly? Sorry, because I see this comment from JJ. JJ, I hear you, and I understand that Arsenal need players in different positions. But in my humble opinion, if Arsenal signed Caicedo and Rice, it's better for them than spending 200 million on 4 different players. Because Arsenal are at that stage now where they need people who are going to take them to the next level. If you signed Rice and Caicedo, the amount of control and defensive stability those two would have given you, you wouldn't have got it from any other combination. That's my honest opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I think at some point we have to start like thinking a bit more greedy. Like, I understand 2 seasons ago when we went and got for 200 million or something, we got Odegaard and Ramsdale and Ben White and Tommy Yasu and a bunch of these players. That was smart. I get it, because we were at that phase where we needed to build. So we couldn't spend 200 million on 2 or 3 players. I get that. But now we're at the stage where we are very ready to compete, right? So I think we have to be able to make that next step. People keep asking about, what do you think Arsenal could have done last season to win the title? I think City were always one of the favorites, like given how good they've been. But you know, people were saying, you didn't get Mudryk in Jan, so you got Trossard. We didn't get Caicedo in Jan, so we got Jorginho. I think we should have got all 4, in my opinion, because Nketiah was never that good, to be honest. He had like a nice purple patch, right? We got someone like Trossard. We got someone like Jorginho. I think we should have also got Mudryk and Caicedo, and that would have given us a better chance to continue and last that season. If you go next season, just imagine this. You go next season with your starting midfield of Declan Rice, Caicedo, and Odegaard, and your bench has Partey, Jorginho, and let's say Emil Smith-Rowe or even Kai Havertz if it happens, that's a very good midfield depth, right? And you have, and it's sort of in midfield depth that you only will use for injuries. That's a midfield depth that you can use for rotation, right? To actually rotate in between Premier League games. So I don't get when people say, "Oh, don't spend." We do have that money, and I'm not saying spend 200 million. I don't think it'll cost 200 million to get both Rice and Caicedo. I think it'll cost a bit less than that, and we can still spend an extra 40, 50 million to get someone like Cancelo.
Okay, big up, Ashraf. I agree completely with
Ashraf, let me ask you a question.
You've presented it in a very realistic
Do you
fashion.
honestly,
But it's about seriousness.
Yeah,
guys hear
I know it won't happen, but it should. That's what I'm saying should happen.
do you honestly think that Declan Rice is a £120 million player?
Absolutely not. I don't even think he's the top 5 DMs in the world, but I still think he's a quality enough midfielder to come into our team and make a difference.
Yeah.
120 million is a lot of money, man.
Of course, and I don't think they will take him at 120 million.
Let me tell you why you're both wrong. This is just the going rate for a player of that quality now. This is just, you're talking, he's young, he's West Ham's best player, he's Premier League proven, he's English. It's kind of like all of these things are taxes together.
But Hassan, be honest, the biggest factor is the English part, because I don't think he's better than Caicedo, and he's going for like 40 million more than him. It's because of the English tax mainly. If you exclude the English tax, he goes down to 70.
I disagree. I think Rice is better than Caicedo.
I don't know. I think no, he's not. I don't think so.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
The reason Caicedo can also play as a right back is because he's got the physicality and pace. Declan Rice doesn't have that.
I understand. Let me just say this. If you caught me last summer, I would have been arguing Phillips is better than Rice. Calvin. But after this, I promise you I was arguing that. But after this season, I'm going to be honest with you, I changed my mind. This season has elevated my opinion of Rice above and beyond. And
can I tell you?
And let me just say this. I understand.
Calvin Phillips didn't play this season.
I understand Conference League is not Champions League and not Europa. But we have to look at the club the guy's playing for. Guy's playing for West Ham. He captained West Ham and was consensus their best player in that competition and won them a European trophy. That is West Ham United.
While I hear that, and I'm not, by the way, whatever I'm going to say next is not like any slight on Declan Rice. He is a top quality defensive midfielder. I'm not criticizing him. However, why I disagree with you and I think you're wrong is the reason why I say Caicedo is better. Declan Rice, by the way, this is the same logic, Hassam, that you use for United, which I also agree with. When you talk about Lisandro Martinez and Varane, when you're playing for a team that is so defensive and you're most of the time sitting back, that's a whole different game. Versus when you're playing for a team like Brighton that goes forward, that actually has 60% possession against Arsenal and Man City and plays a very attacking game, and you have to always track back and make those tackles, that's a whole different game. So when Declan Rice is put in a midfield like Arsenal, that's going to be pressing, where their centre-backs will come up all the way to the half, and now you have to sprint and track back and make those tackles, that's a very different game, Hassam. So I don't agree. I don't think it's the same comparison. And it's the same logic you used for Martinez and Varane, which I completely agree with. This is why I don't rate them that highly yet, because it's so easy to defend when you're hugging the goalkeeper.
Valid argument. I can't even disagree with that.
Four Champions League.
I just think the one thing that Rice would elevate you in is defensively. That for me,
for sure,
going to take you above and beyond.
Hossam, do you agree with me that in the final he didn't play well?
Amrabat toasted him.
He didn't play well.
Amrabat, no. That's cap.
Played better.
That's cap.
What do you
Yeah, guys, I'm half Moroccan and I love Amrabat, but I don't think he's better than Declan Rice.
Listen,
no, he's not better. But he played better than him in the final.
He played better on the day, not better in general.
He played better.
No. Let me say this. First of all, this is how I know this United fan is running an agenda, because he hates Arsenal. Let me tell you the agenda he's running. The DMs don't come up against each other anyway. The DM is fighting the 2 8s or the 10. So that's how I know you're just running an agenda. Exactly. You see, I catch you out, Christopher. Don't try to do that with me.
But Sam, in the final, they both
Amrabat was unbelievable in the final.
They both played the same formation.
It's not like he pocketed Rice. You could say he pocketed Paqueta or he pocketed the other midfielders, not Rice, because they don't play each other anyway. They're opposite DMs.
The argument about Declan Rice, he's a safe player. He's not an extraordinary player. 120 million. No.
He's a steady Eddie. He's a steady Eddie. Average
Oh,
ball.
I
Yeah,
can't
he's a
believe we're
steady
calling
Eddie.
Declan Rice a steady Eddie now.
This-
This
this-
is
No, he's not a steady Eddie, guys. Now you're pushing
you know
it.
who's a
Come on, he's not
steady Eddie?
Eddie.
Declan Henderson, when he was good, is a steady Eddie. That's the steady Eddie. Steady
Henderson's
Eddie is
so
not
great. He's
Declan
ever
Rice.
captain.
Like,
He's greater than Steven Gerrard. Why are you laughing, bro?
Christopher, I will
What?
listen. Don't make me fight you now. Huh? You and your ginger legend who
You know,
sucks his
I
daughter's
think the
toes.
maximum
Let's not go
amount
there
I pay for Declan Rice is 80 million.
I'm just saying you can't
Okay.
be a Trent legend.
You know what?
without winning
That's
Premier
fair.
League.
That's fair. Chris,
That's
instead
what
of you waffling, I'm gonna go to you. But before I go to you, let me just read the super chat. You are spot on, Hussam. Both are great players, but Rice has literally carried West Ham. Plus, he adds leadership qualities that Caicedo doesn't.
Oh, come on. I keep saying this comment every time he adds leadership
He
qualities.
hasn't been
Leadership
given
quality in
leadership
West
quality.
Ham. No, leadership quality in a West Ham team is not the same as a leadership quality in a Champions League game. When you're chasing for the title, it's a different thing. So many leaders have come. Odegaard is the captain of freaking Norway, right? And he was like also one of the leaders in Real Sociedad. It doesn't mean he's like that kind of a leader. Like it's so easy to be a captain of West Ham versus being a captain of Arsenal when you're going for a title challenge. He's not been proven yet as a leader. I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, and today they were beaten by Scotland. He was still the captain.
Yeah.
Scotland and Norway played today.
Yeah, Scotland and Norway played. And
Scotland beat Norway today 2-1.
2-1.
Odegaard played the whole game.
This is my thing on Arsenal. You have a small club mentality in it because when has there been a time that you spent 100 million on 2 players? You've never done that in a window. So why do you expect that you're gonna do it this window? For example, I know we're gonna sign all our players at the end of the window because under the Glazers we never do early signings. So I know that. You Arsenal fans should know that you're not gonna sign Caicedo and Rice because you've never done that before. And also the reason why you didn't win the league is because your owners didn't want to spend money in the summer, but instead you were saying, "Oh, we finished second place to City, hooray, hooray! We're the best losers in the league."
Our owners did spend money in the summer. That's cap.
You were
We did
celebrating.
spend.
If you bought Caicedo, and you were playing him instead of Thomas Partey when Thomas Partey was moving mad, you man could have had a chance. But instead of blaming your owners for that, you man are trying to say, "Oh, we didn't bottle it, or we didn't do this, we didn't do that."
Chris, let me disagree with you because I'm Ghanaian. So when you talk about Thomas Partey, you hit a raw nerve. I think Arsenal's problem was the injury to William Saliba. Finish.
But Thomas Partey, he got dropped at the end of the season. He wasn't playing well.
Well, it wasn't just him. Why didn't they drop Saka too? Because Saka was also playing us. Why didn't they drop Saka?
They don't have anyone to replace Saka like that.
Why didn't they drop Martinelli? Listen, the
Martinelli
Arsenal
was playing okay.
The Arsenal boys were fatigued. They were tired. Okay, and the injury
Man
to
City were
Saliba,
playing three games. They were playing Champions League and FA Cup.
Saliba, and to an extent, Tomiyasu didn't help them. I wanted Arsenal to win because I'm tired of this dictatorship that we're about to have in the league, right?
I can't lie. I'd rather Man City win 10 Premier Leagues in a row than these pussies win 1 league.
Nah, listen.
I can't.
No. But
Therefore,
see, this is this is my time to
Such
argue.
a weak ass
Let me just say this.
Yeah,
I
go,
hate
sorry,
I have to
these
say.
man.
Go.
I hate
Go.
these
One
man.
second. I have to say something here.
I
Listen.
hate these man more than Liverpool.
No. I understand.
Arsenal.
I understand.
Go.
But let me just say this.
The funny thing is we all share the same common hate for United, so that tells you a lot. So
One second. Let me just say this. Right? We keep saying we don't care about City, blah blah blah. No one cares about City. True. No one cares about City. I agree with you. But there will come a time in which you will start caring because what you just said is win 10 Premier Leagues in a row. If they win 10 Premier Leagues in a row, they're going to be on 20 league titles. And if they're on 20 league titles, it means they're going to have more Prems than you. And if they have more Prems than you, then it's probably more likely that they've won 1 or 2 Champions Leagues, which now no longer it's going to be we don't care about Man City. It's going to be Man City's bigger than Man United. So for me, I've publicly announced this. I've said this on Battle of the North. This is probably where JJ found me. I've said it on this channel. I've said it everywhere. Unless it's going to be Man United, because they're my biggest rival. Man United and Liverpool are the biggest rivalry in England. Unless it's Man United, I'm supporting anyone, Chelsea included, against City in the title race next season. I don't want City to keep winning because the pace... Guys, one second. Let me finish. The pace at which they're winning league titles is not normal. If they do this again over these next 10 years, they're going to be on 16, plus the 2 they won before the money. That's 18 already. 18 league titles. So in a period of 20 years, they've basically just ruined our history we've built over these last 100 years. So this whole don't care about City, I'm not running that anymore. I care now, and I want them to lose, and I hate that football club.
Wait, but the thing,
be careful. Chris, hold on, Chris, hold on
on
a second. Be careful what you wish for, right? Be careful
Yes.
what you wish for,
Thank
because
you.
you may just get it. In 2013, many of us, me included, was it 2013, 2012, were willing City on, because I was saying I wanted democracy of winning. I was tired of Manchester United winning everything, and I really wish I wasn't willing Manchester City to win, because now we've introduced a third way. They are winning, they are good at it, they are getting comfortable with winning, and you know what? A generation is going to grow up supporting Man City because they are winning. That's how I became a Liverpool supporter all those years. When I was growing up, Liverpool were the boys. They were the big boys.
See, that is fact.
And don't forget, Chris, like you should be worried more than anyone else. They've already taken away your three-peat, which was your unique thing. They've taken away your treble, which was your unique thing.
They're now a bigger club than you. Where's your Champions League?
No, but I agree. Fair enough. Yeah. United are a bigger club. There's no question. But I'm saying you're the one getting ruined the most. You're the one because remember when Sir Alex Ferguson said, "Not in my lifetime will they ever be more successful than us." Now it's every season that they're battering you. It's every season that they're battering you.
Wrong.
What do you mean it's wrong? How is it wrong?
Chris,
I said he was wrong about Man City not dominating. He was sniffing.
Chris, don't wish for Man City to do well, because you know, anytime, let me tell you, Man City introduced a model that is going to destroy the bigger teams. Remember, they were the ones who brought the big time shake owners, right? They brought that concept. Now other people have picked on it. Newcastle are now in the mix because they've also brought some shakes. So sooner or later, if you guys are lucky and you also get a shake, and Liverpool also go and get some shakes, we are introducing some stuff into the EPL. So be careful what you wish for. Man City are a juggernaut.
I can't lie. It's
juggernaut, and they have a fantastic.
The thing is, I'm worried about Man City. Depending,
you have to be worried.
If
you used to call them your noisy neighbors. Now you are making the noise.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think we have more trophies in every category, more Premier Leagues, more Champions League, more.
Hey, it's only a matter of time, man.
That's history, man.
The rate at which they are going, grabbing 3 trophies a season, the rate at which they are going, grabbing 3 trophies a season, it will take them a few years. They will catch up with all of us.
As it is, their manager is already being labeled the GOAT. Like already, like imagine if he wins another 5
manager of all time, undoubtedly. No one can argue that.
Who?
Manager of all time, Pep Guardiola.
Who? Pep Guardiola. Oh, okay, so you agree.
Oh, so you're agreeing with it?
I agree too. You have to give him that.
So you're saying all of this, and then you're telling me you don't care, brother. You should care.
You have to give him that.
In my opinion, in the Premier League era only, Fergie's better than Pep Guardiola, but Pep Guardiola will probably.
No, but that's not the point.
But of all time, Pep Guardiola is the greatest.
Okay, listen. Now you're switching up the argument. Here's the thing.
Thierry Henry and Ronaldo. It's like Thierry Henry and Ronaldo.
Hey, chill.
Thierry Henry is the greatest Premier League player
ever.
What
Ashraf just said is 100% true, right? Before you know it, all this we don't care is going to be the end of you, because you're going to have to start caring, because you're going to have to start giving a you know what, because it's just...
I live in Manchester, bro. They're my neighbors. They're my friends.
Exactly. So how are you saying? You keep saying you don't care. Listen, I get where you're coming from. Are Arsenal fans annoying? Yes. They are.
Man City fans are annoying, fam. Bro, I would just say congratulations, my guy. You have fun in Istanbul. I'll just chat to the City fans. They're calm, bro. Arsenal fans
but that's what I'm saying. But it's not about who's annoying. As a football club, they're going to become bigger than you. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Even though Arsenal fans are a bigger headache, I'd rather deal with that headache than another club being bigger than me.
Manchester City are unable to fill a 53,000-seater stadium when Liverpool are in town. They aren't able to fill a 53,000-seater stadium when they are playing with you. They are expanding it to 70,000. See, they have stuff that nobody else has.
Yeah.
The owner of Liverpool's father has an airline. The owner of Liverpool's father has several banks. Heck, he is the ruler of a country.
FSG are good owners, bro.
If Sheikh Mansour wants something, all he needs to go to is to his dad and say, "Dad, I need an aircraft to fly my boys home. He
Can I
said,
ask you a
okay,
question, Sam?
go take one of the Etihad ones. Call your brother, get him to give you the newest Etihad. Listen, those guys have something many of us don't have. So let's not wish them well. I don't want to wish Man City well anymore. End of story. Because sooner or later, they'll take everything we have.
Yeah, I think about it, like if Arsenal won the league this season, even if we won the league 2-3 seasons in a row, you can still come out and say you're a bigger club than Arsenal. Even if we win the Champions League, you can still say, oh, we've got the Champions League. You can't say that with City very soon. Very soon, your argument is gonna finish.
I've already accepted if Sir Jim Ratcliffe gets the club, we will be the next Nottingham Forest. We'll be saying, oh, we used to be a big club, but now we're dead. But if we get Qatar, I'm definitely not worried about City because I'm thinking we're going to have the richest owners in the Premier League. And I'm not worried about anybody. I'm not worried about Arsenal. Arsenal will get out the way. Like, you man have dead owners.
The richest
Liverpool,
owners.
I'm still worried about
richest owners, Chris. The richest owners in the Premier League are Newcastle.
No, it's Qatar. I think it's Qatar, isn't it?
No. Newcastle's owners have 320 billion in net worth. So it's not even close.
Not worth.
Chris, the
Qatar is not even like 20.
The Saudi owners could buy all 20 Premier League clubs tomorrow.
Exactly.
Damn. Hey, yo.
But these are
get your money up instead of
the Saudis have just given their league $26.5 billion to spend. So they are buying players before they tell them what team they are going to play for. There's no comparison. They are just very careful because they don't like the sports washing label, but they'll get there.
Sam, why do you think FSG are bad owners? I think they're good owners. They're nothing
because Fenway Sports Group are could be useful to get you to the top, but they're not good at keeping you. Is about sustainability. The reason why Man United became a big club is not because they won one league title and then they fell off and then 5 years later won another league title. It's because they dominated. Yeah. That's why, because they dominated. So
owners,
Chris,
on the stadium, the Glazers don't. They get the right footballing.
No, but here's the thing: you need to understand. Me and you have opposite problems.
I'd rather have FSG than Qatar.
No, hear me out. Your problem is you spend money without having a direction.
Exactly.
Our thing is we have a direction, but we don't spend money. So that same 250 million you spent last summer, I wish I could spend that in a
Chris,
summer. That's the thing.
You can win the Premier League.
But you wouldn't want to win the Premier League and then just dip. It feels
Chris,
worse.
I gather from talking to you that
you want higher standards, but they're okay.
You are a young man. Don't wish for things you don't want. You definitely don't want FSG.
No, I would take FSG. I'm being honest.
Let me tell you why you don't want. Let me tell you why you don't want FSG. Let me tell you why you don't want FSG. You said FSG are improving our stadia. They're improving our facilities. Very good point. Fair point. You know why
they have left our stadium to rot.
You know why they're doing that? You know why FSG are improving the stadiums? Because they want to sell us. Right? They are improving the value of the 300 million they brought into the team when they have enough money, like I explained, to buy the NBA franchise. They are gone. They sell and they're gone. They don't give a crap what happens to us next. Look, they've just reacquired Melwood. Why do you think they reacquired Melwood? For them, Liverpool is a real estate project. Okay? It's not a football. They don't even understand soccer. Your owners, the Glazers, they show up when you are playing your important matches, although they bill you with the cost of flying. Our leaders will not show up when we are playing Manchester United. Our owner rather comes to the London Stadium to watch when we are playing West Ham. You see why I take my owners not showing up, because you see the Glazers just spend money. They don't even put footballing people in place. For me, they spend money, man.
Yeah, but they spend money.
They bought you Pogba.
But they don't.
Yeah, and Lukaku for 100 million.
Chris, they bought you Pogba. They bought you what's his face? Martial. They bought you Anthony. They paid 100 million euro for that clown. They bought you Casemiro. They bought you every single player you want. In this period where we are fifth, we are quibbling over spending 40 million euro for a midfielder. What are you on about? You don't want FSG, man.
But the thing is though, imagine now, our owners are about to spend our owners can't negotiate for shit. So we're probably going to spend like 70 million, 60 million for Mason Mount. and I'm seeing you, man, buy MacAllister for 35 million. And MacAllister's clear of Mason Mount. So now I'm looking at this like.
So Hussam told you the right thing. Hussam told you the right thing. You weren't listening to him. He said, we spend money
in the transfer window. We can't.
You don't spend money in the right direction.
But
you don't
shall I tell you why?
Chris,
shall I tell you why that I think I
Chris,
bad?
Chris,
They'll spend
if you spend 100 million euro buying Anthony, you are not a serious club. It doesn't mean you are not spending the money.
And by the way, Anthony wasn't something that the Glazers wanted. It was your manager who wanted Anthony.
It was your manager who brought
I'm not backing
your owners went and did whatever they could do to get this player. So that's on your manager.
I'm not backing Ten Hag, bro. I'm not backing him like that. He wants to buy Mason Mount. That's not my manager, bro. I don't know you. I'm not backing Ten Hag like that, fam. And I think
so you don't back your manager. You don't back your players. You don't back your owner. Who do you back in United?
Bro, I don't back anybody, bro. We've been failing for like 10 years, fam. Who am I gonna back, fam?
Chris, you guys have a long and storied history of spending and wasting money. You spend 95 million pounds on fucking Lukaku, right?
Yeah.
I could go on and on and on. It's something Liverpool will never do. Spend 95 million on Lukaku. They'd rather play without a striker.
The reason why I say that the Glazers are bad owners is because they'll spend money on players, but they overpay more than they need to for the player. They're not the value of the money that we're actually spending, if you get what I mean.
But they don't control that. It's the transfer committee.
Okay, guys, listen.
Anthony
you guys, look, I want to add the people in the background because they've been waiting a long time. Chris, you're talking to 3 fans here, with the Arsenal fan included, whose problem is a bigger problem than overpaying. Our problem is we don't pay to begin with. I'd rather overpay than not pay. This is my thing. There's a United fan cooking you in the super chat, so I want to read it in front of you. Smash the likes button. 124 is pathetic. Come on, show your support, people, and press the like button. I appreciate you, Habibi. And Hussam, that one-on-one with Big Steve was class. You gave top educational lesson. Hey, I can't lie. I cooked Steve that day. Steve kept coming at me for the Liverpool thing, but I told him, listen, your club's fake. And I'll happily say that. Manchester City is a fake club. There's nothing real about that club. There's nothing genuine about it.
They are fake. They're not real.
It could have been anyone. Honestly, they could have bought Newcastle. They could have bought Middlesbrough. They could have bought Everton, and they would have had the same success. Thank God they didn't buy Everton, to be fair. But they could have had the same success. Bro, these guys have 1 league title pre the money, and they want to come.
I think they have 2, actually. They have 2.
But I appreciate you, JJ. Victor's actually a United fan, Chris.
Talking and he's about Everton, they are also threatening to be sold, man.
Yeah, we will see. This fan, respectfully, Man United would want FSG. Are you serious? He's a United fan, by the way. FSG are parasites. Also, Qatar would be a dream for anybody because they know how to run football clubs. Chris, what's your response? Because this is super chat to you.
If I look at what's going on in PSG, and obviously I think everyone knows that it's the same people that are running it. It's just that they put different faces in it so they can buy both clubs. It's the same people. I look at what they did in PSG, and they buy Neymar, Messi, and Mbappe. There's no clear vision. Mbappe wants to leave. Neymar's leaving as well. I see what happened in PSG. I'm like, these man, they might not run it correctly. Like, I'm looking at what they did there, and I'm thinking FSG might put better footballing people in place to do something than Qatar would. But obviously,
listen,
I'd want
FSG are not good owners.
Yeah, I think what Hussam said earlier about what FSG is good if they bring a team like Tottenham, for example, into the top 4 and they can get them there. But they're not going to be able to take it to that next step now, which is actually consistently challenging and winning the league year in, year out. Just one last thing I wanted to say about Liverpool. Yeah, I feel like people, I saw a lot of people, especially rivals, are underestimating Liverpool a lot. I know you guys are obviously quite skeptical, which is fine because of the history and everything. I just feel that if Liverpool go and get these 2 or 3 midfielders that they need to get, and obviously get a centre-back, as you've mentioned earlier, Hussam, I think they're the best team that can compete with City. I know I said Arsenal are favourites, but that's only because I don't think you guys will go and do that. And the reason why I saw your show actually with Terry, where you said, look, you want like better midfielders. I think someone like Thuram actually is amazing for you guys, because one good thing about Liverpool is that they don't actually need another experienced or top quality like player who's at like 27, 28. You have already so much experience of actual players who've won things and won serious things in the last 5 years. Adding someone like Thuram, who's inexperienced but has a lot of legs, will actually do you guys a lot of good. And I also don't think, I agree with you 100%. I don't think Trent should ever be playing in the midfield permanently. I think he gets disrespected a lot as a right back. Yes, he has defensive problems, but then so did Marcelo.
Trent is world class.
Marcelo was well known for his defensive.
Please.
Yeah. I mean, for those who remember, like Marcelo was actually very average defensively a lot of times, but he was considered one of the best left backs for a long time. I think Trent is a very, very good right back. I think it's not a coincidence that he went from one of the best right backs when you were going for the quad to the next season where your midfield is absolute shit, and he was also bad. It's because he was exposed a lot more, and that's just normal. That's also why Van Dijk wasn't looking as good. That's why also Robertson had some shaky games here and there. So I think he should still stay as a right back, but you just need to cover the midfield a lot.
And that's why I love. You know what? Let's just end it on that. Let's just end this call in on that before we add in the other guys in the background, because this is just a beautiful thing. An Arsenal fan and a United fan just said Trent is disrespected. I can't ask for anything more. I'd like to thank Ashraf. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you both for coming on.
Generational
Thank you,
talent.
guys.
Guy, bro. He's disrespected. He's disrespected.
I appreciate you, Chris, man. I appreciate you, Ashraf. Thank you, guys.
Two Liverpool players I respect.
Him and Salah, of course, you have to respect Salah. I mean, he's destroyed your club.
Salah's better than Steven Gerrard for Liverpool.
Don't even start. Listen, let's
and Henderson's better than Steven Gerrard.
No, you ain't gonna start a new argument as we're about
you
to.
You can't be a Premier League legend without winning the Premier League.
I'm not gonna do this, Chris. I'm not gonna do this. Thank you for coming on. Always bringing the energy. Big up to Ashraf as well. Pleasure speaking to you, my brother. See you guys.
You too, man. Take care. Bye-bye.
Big up. So what we're going to do now is just so we can, allow as many people to speak as possible, we're going to add you in 3s instead of 2s. So next up, I've got True Gunners TV joining me. Big up to you, my brother. I've got Mo joining me. And also joining me, Terence, Terry Tibbs. Terry Tibbs, before you join me, my brother, can you just show me your face just so I know it's you? And then after that, you can just turn off your camera. So I just want to know because that's you. Okay, all good, my brother. Big up to you.
I want to chime in on this Trent thing. The real issue back is Robertson. It's not Trent. Okay? It's Robertson. And anybody who
I'm so happy people are waking up. They call me an agenda merchant.
Listen, many people, I hate to say this, many people simply don't watch the game.
Thank you.
Look, and it is the reason why I want Trent to be moved to the midfield and for us to get a left centre back and do a box 4, 3 on top and 3 permanent centre backs. I don't want this Trent can defend shit to be lumped on him anymore. Because our real problem this season was a lack of protection for the back 4 from the midfield, but in the defense, it was Robertson.
I'm so happy people are waking up. They called me an agenda merchant. Now you know. Anyway, speaking of agenda merchants, my brother Brandon, talk to me, bro. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I've heard you boys speaking about Liverpool, and I want to include obviously Arsenal in this because I'm an Arsenal fan. But the biggest problem with our football clubs, and you can roll Manchester United into this as well, is we are all very much the same. We're big by name, but small in our mentality and mindset, especially at board level and ownership level, right? And the common denominator between all 3 of these clubs is they all have American owners. Now, you'll notice I haven't included Chelsea in that. And although they have American owners as well, the reason why I haven't included Chelsea in that is because they got it horribly wrong when they spent £600 million, but at least they try to, be a big club. They try and throw money at a problem. They don't just dilly-dally around and piss about in transfer markets and stuff like that, right? And I'm absolutely shocked, to hear that Liverpool are kind of doing this, we haven't got any money, blah, 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 and all this, that, and the other, right? You brought in MacAllister, £35 million, which I think is an absolute steal, by the way. It's very clear to see from last season that you need to strengthen in midfield. You need 2 or 3 players and a centre-back. Now, that's not a massive window for Liverpool, really, and to consider that this is a team that only 4 years ago won a Champions League and a Premier League, to be acting in this way, it just shows exactly what I said, which is big by name, but small in mentality and mindset from the ownership and board level. And you could say the same thing about Arsenal, right? People will argue that, yes, Arsenal in previous years have the same sort of thing, but now we're spending the money. Well, we're already hearing rumours about how the Cronkies want to become a self-sustaining model again as soon as possible. So the chances are, if we're going to do the big money on the players, it's going to be this summer. And then after that, we're going to revert back to this self-sustaining model. And then, of course, Manchester United, the same thing with the Glazers. I mean, they can change that if they get the Qatari owners in. But right now, if we're being completely and utterly serious, there's only really one serious football club in the Premier League, and that is Manchester City. They're the only, they might be a fake club in terms of the way that they've done it. They might be a fake club in terms of, you know, there was a small club beforehand, and then these big billionaire owners have came in and made them who they are now. But they are a serious football club. They go out every season to win the major honours. And that's where we are. You know, I just feel like the problem with our clubs isn't that we're not big clubs. We're just small-minded. And I don't understand it. I really, really don't. And as far as competing against Manchester City next season, I don't see anybody competing with Manchester City next season, regardless of Arsenal getting Declan Rice or not. Because Declan Rice is not enough for Arsenal to compete against Manchester City next season. I don't care what anybody says. And Kai Havertz, well, we'll talk about him in a minute. But I just look on it, right, with Arsenal's season last season, and it kind of reminds me, and Arsenal fans are going to hate me for this, but I don't care. It kind of reminds me of the season that Manchester United had under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, where
no way you went there.
Yeah, I went there, bro, because I look around this, right, and people will probably disagree, and, you know, they're within their rights to disagree, but it was kind of a false second place finish for Manchester United, right? And I would kind of say a similar thing about Arsenal, not as, you know, false, but I would say a similar thing about Arsenal, because if we look at it in the cold light of day, right, everybody expected Liverpool to be up there. They wasn't. They had a horrific season. Chelsea exactly the same. Tottenham as well. You know, there wasn't really many teams that you could say they had a standout consistency within the league, right?
Mm-hmm.
I look at the players that performed in our team last season as well. Martin Odegaard, for an example, came up with 15 goals last season. Does anybody see him repeating that again this season coming? Because I don't. I feel like
it could happen.
It could happen, but I feel like a lot of these players in our squad peaked in terms of their performance. You know, they was hitting numbers that we've never seen them hit before. Odegaard, 15 goals. Saka was coming up with goals. And I mean, you know, Saka is a completely different one, because you can point out 2 or 3 previous seasons where he's done the same thing. So he is consistent throughout seasons. But Martinelli coming up with goals. Even Nketiah, right? Nketiah, this brother who cannot hit a bar and door for the past couple of seasons that he's been at Arsenal, actually came in last season and scored important.
About my Ghanaians, man. Be careful what you say about my Ghanaians.
He came in. He came in last season. He came in last season, right, when Jesus was injured, and he scored important goals. Reece Nelson, last-minute winner against Bournemouth. I mean, do you really think we're going to see this level of consistency from Arsenal again next season? And just to bring it back round as well, right? In our first 19 games this season, so half the season, we took 50 points from a possible 57. That's how consistent we were. And we still didn't win the league. And I know we threw it away at the end. And I know it was the last 8 games that cost us. But if you're going to beat Manchester City to a league title, you're going to have to repeat a similar sort of thing to what we see in the first half of the season and continue that on in the second half of the season. I mean, you boys know all too well about that. You know, you had to reach, how many points was it? 90?
That start we had at the season, and I think we won 27 out of 28 games.
Exactly. And this is the level of performance that you have to have, right, to
You
beat
make
Manchester
Manchester-
City to a league title.
Manchester City are the only team in the league who are willing to maintain their team like an aircraft company maintains an aircraft. You don't wait for something to go wrong before you change the part, right? Manchester City, look at Cancelo. The real reason why Pep got rid of Cancelo was because Salah turned him twice in a single match. That's it. It has nothing to do with Cancelo. Because
Excellent finish, Mo.
because Salah turned him twice in a single match. Liverpool beat Manchester City, and the error he made was glaring. No other team does that.
Imagine this as well, right? Their captain, Gundogan, who has just captained them to a treble, their first treble in their history. They haven't even offered him a contract yet. The guy is currently being released by Manchester City.
No, they wanted to keep him, but he's the guy who wants to leave. He's the guy.
Well, either way, but that shows the level. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really.
Is on contract length. Gundogan wants 2 years. They only wanted to give him 1 year extension.
Well, this is the point. You know, that just because he's their captain and he's captained them to a treble, they're not going and saying to him, "You want 2 years? We'll give you 2 years." They're turning around and saying, "No, you get 1 year, bro. Otherwise,
if it was Liverpool,
we'll move you on."
Have given him 4 years, because that's exactly what we did. And now our captain is actually stopping shots from entering the goal.
Don't even go there, man. Don't even go there. But big up, Brandon. I want to hear from Mo, because I think Mo's an Arsenal fan too. Mo, aren't you an Arsenal fan? Mo, are you here?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
No. I've been on before, bro. Like, I'm the Egyptian guy. Remember me?
Who do you support?
Liverpool. Not an Arsenal.
My God, I thought you're an Arsenal fan. But go on anyway. Go on, talk to me.
Okay, so I have very quick topics that I want to discuss. Okay, first topic, I want to talk about Salah a little bit. So I know Hassan is gonna hate me.
About who?
I want to talk about Salah a little bit.
Oh, I remember who you are. You're the guy who was like Mane over Salah. I remember you.
Yes, and I still think that Mane is better than Salah 100%. But I don't want to talk about this because we already spoke about this.
One guy should be Liverpool captain. The other guy is headed to Al-Ittifaq. But big up. Carry on.
No, I mean, listen, I don't care if he's going to Ittifaq, but I still think that Mane is better than Salah in all aspects, dribbling, physicality, even passing. So, yeah, anyways. So I don't want to discuss this because I know that will make your blood boil. Anyways, okay. So my issue with Salah is I think that maybe it's a good idea to sell him this summer. Why do I think that? Okay, so when his contract ends, he's going to be 33. He's already on 400K a week. Okay, so when he is 33, if we are going to sell him when he's 33, we will probably, if we are lucky, we're going to get like 30 million for him, 35 million. But if we sell him this summer, we will at least get 90 million from him. Why don't we use this 90 million and go buy, for example, Mbappe? And let me tell you why. Because PSG will not let Mbappe leave on the free. Let's just be honest, because he said that he's not going to extend the contract with him. They will not let him leave for free because they already paid like over 100 million to get him from Monaco, and they paid this huge salary for him. So they will not let him leave on the free, and that's what he wants to do. Okay, but PSG will not allow that. Come on. Okay, let's be realistic here. So they have to sell him this summer. Why don't we take 90 million from Salah and let FSG pay the other 60 million and go and buy Mbappe, and let's go and win the league?
Okay, this is why I always say you
Don,
shouldn't
can I
smoke.
answer him, please? Can I answer him?
I've got this. No, I'm gonna answer him. This is why I always tell people don't smoke, because smoking is not good for health.
No,
and it's
man.
not good for your brain either. You know,
Yeah.
this man just said sell Salah for 90 million, add 60 and buy Mbappe. Akhi, Mbappe's wages are 1 million a week. If you present that to John W. Henry, he's gonna get a heart attack on the spot. If you tell him you're about to pay a player 1 million a week. That's number one. Number two, this hatred you're showing towards Salah, I know where it's from. because I'm from the same people as you. We're both Arabs.
I hate them,
You 1 second, I'll let you speak. I didn't interrupt you once. You want to prove you're so not biased that you're willing to go 180 degrees to the other side. Right now, you look at Liverpool Football Club this season, the best performer I said has been by far Alisson. He's number one, and it's not arguable. Easiest player of the season I've ever voted for. But the best outfield player, despite him not performing at the level expected, was Mo this season. And you look at, if I'm arguing with someone that thinks Mane is a better passer than Salah, then there is no point in making an argument, because I can just tell you've just got a strong agenda. And if I sell Mo Salah, here's the even worse part of this whole question. First of all, we can't get Mbappe because that's not realistic. That's not a realistic world. We have to come back to reality. We were arguing with Mo Salah for a whole year over 350 grand a week. You think we can afford Mbappe? We can't afford them. So who's gonna give me in world football currently the amount of goals that Mo Salah gives me? Because I'm just looking at it from the perspective of Bukayo Saka was spoken about as the best right winger in this whole league this season, and Mo Salah was having a shit year, and Mo Salah still had better output than him and played in tougher competitions in the Champions League and still maintained a higher level of output than the best right winger in the league. So where am I going to get 30 goals from in all competitions on the wing? Where am I going to get that from? You can't give me unrealistic options. Don't come tell me go sign Lionel Messi, go sign Mbappe. You have to give me realistic within Liverpool's means. If I sell Salah tomorrow and go get Moussa Diaby or one of them random young wingers, I'm not going to achieve anything. I'm going to take 3, 4, 5 steps back. So for me, selling Mo Salah is simply just pushing us all behind even further than where we're at right now.
That's why we sold the wrong player. We should have kept Mane.
And that's okay. So we should have kept Mane. Let me entertain the argument, even though it's idiotic. So if we should have sold Mane, can you tell me your opinion on Eric Choupo-Moting?
Who's that?
Oh, who's that? Eric Choupo-Moting was a better player for Bayern Munich this season than Sadio Mane. Eric Choupo-Moting was a Stoke City reject, performed better at Bayern Munich. Sadio Mane didn't move to Dortmund. He moved to the one Ferrari against the 19 bicycles, and he still didn't perform over there. If I name you the players that have played better for Bayern than Mane, you would sit here and you would realize how dumb your argument is. I know I can say hand on heart right now, if I send Mo Salah to the Bundesliga to play for Bayern Munich, I know he's about to get 50 goals in that league.
No way.
Running behind and score tap-ins?
No.
That's Salah's bread and butter right there.
Let me chime in here. You see, the argument about Mane and Salah is an argument that I don't want to make.
Yes.
The reason I don't want to make it is that those two complemented each other so well that it is unfair to the team and the process that got them there to become the best attack force maybe in Europe at the peak, to say that one is better than the other. Besides, Mo Salah hasn't said he's leaving. Mane left off of his own free will. In fact,
and Mane said he's going to leave one day before a Champions League final too.
Exactly. And besides, for those of you who don't know, Mane had been threatening to leave for over a year. Klopp practically begged him to stay in the last year of that he stayed. And then in the end, he went to sit somewhere and said the people of Senegal said he should leave. So he left, and the rest is history. If you take Mane out of our team, you have taken away 30 goals.
Yes.
Straight up. I'm not just talking about the goals he scores, I'm talking about his assists. And in a bad year, the man has 30 goal contributions.
In a bad
so you
year.
take him out and you say, okay, now let me go and bring in who? Moussa Diaby. Moussa Diaby has never scored more than 9 goals a season. So why would you want to do that? If I had my way, as disciplined as Mo Salah is, even if his contract comes up for renewal, we should renew it. Because there's always that one player, a Benzema, that one player who is so disciplined and such a performer at a high level that he can play till he's 35, 36. I may be wrong, and that's just my opinion. But selling Mo Salah today, in the crisis that we have in Liverpool today, and taking away 30 goals and letting who play that place. You want who? Darwin Nunez to contribute the 30 goals that when Mo Salah leaves? No, let's not do that. I hear a lot of that, and we are tempting fate. Let's not even try it, because we all know that Nasser Al-Khelafi wants Mo Salah. He wants him like flowers wants rain. Let's not even go there.
He's the type of player that only when he leaves you'll understand how important he is.
No, I don't even want to know, Sam.
I don't even want to know either. 30 goals, bro. 30 goals.
Can I just say something? I just don't understand the argument between. I just don't understand the argument between Salah and Mane. Right? They both did completely different jobs in the Liverpool team, but they did them effectively because of Klopp's system, because of the chemistry he had with Robbo, and Salah vice versa with Trent. They both did different jobs, right? So if you want to base this Mane versus Salah, look at the numbers, look at the stats. Salah has outperformed him every single season, and he hasn't just outperformed him, he's blown away. And then you've got to talk about Firmino in that role. Those front three complemented each other so well. That's why they were considered one of the greatest front threes ever, because they were absolutely brilliant. The Salah and Mane argument is absolutely ludicrous. It's ludicrous to me, because it was the whole team. Robbo made Mane click, which made Mane click with Firmino, which made Firmino click with the midfield, which then made Firmino click with the midfield and Salah and Trent. It was a whole universal thing that he did.
Those 2 years, it was the entire 11.
I love what you just said about
even Henderson looked like a good football player.
Robbo made Mane click. See, Mane's biggest contribution to Liverpool was not the goals, it wasn't the passing, it was the press.
Yes.
It was the press and his ability on the defensive side of the ball.
And his
we have
dribbling.
missed a lot since he left, and I'll be the first to agree. But nobody asked him to leave. Today, if you ask Sadio Mane whether he wants to come back to Liverpool, he will run back to Liverpool.
When was the last time Salah dribbled past anyone?
So Salah hasn't said he's leaving. Nobody should say Salah should
Against
tell him.
Southampton, literally.
And trust me,
are you just trying so hard to prove that you're not like a biased Arab, that you just go 180 degrees the other way? Like,
giving FSG's
it's just with all the respect, Akhi, I respect. Listen, everyone's entitled to an opinion, but just your argument is just the dumbest argument I've ever heard. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Wait.
And with all the respect, Mbappe don't cost 150 million anyway. 150 million. 150 million, 3/4 of the clubs in the world would have signed them.
I was going to go there.
Can I chime in on this one as well?
Brother, Mo, you need to understand footballers. If you bring Mbappe to Liverpool and you give him £1 million a week, you've broken our team, you've broken our dressing room. You know what's going to happen? Every time everybody gets the ball, they'll be looking for Mbappe.
Mbappe is not a Liverpool player, man.
Not every player is Mbappe. They have to understand this. They have to understand that Mbappe is like, different.
Well, okay, so then they'll tell you that when the back four needs protection.
And by the way, no, sorry, Albert. No. Forget this. Even if they do understand it, Virgil is going to go like, I'm not 800 grand worse than Mbappe. So he's going to ask for crazy amounts of money. So
exactly. When
I'm going to be honest with you, you're just waffling. Go on, Brandon. I know you want to say.
Can you imagine when Alisson's contract comes up for renewal and he tells you, pay me the same as you pay Mbappe? Are you going to risk not paying him that same amount?
Yeah.
Okay. You know how many goals he's going to concede? Did you see what Tyrone Mings did to Steve Gerrard? Tyrone Mings let in own goal after own goal after own goal until Steve Gerrard was sacked. Don't mess with players and their dressing room mentalities. Ever since Steve Gerrard left Aston Villa, Tyrone Mings has never conceded an own goal.
Okay, can I just say something before I go? Because
let Brandon chime in first, because I know he wanted to speak on this.
Yeah. Is it fair to say that Sadio Mane is a better all-round footballer, but
100%.
Salah contributes more in terms of the stats that actually matter in goals and assists? So I think it's unfair to say and sell Salah for 90 million.
Salah's a better footballer too.
I think Salah would command more than 90 million.
That's what I'd say. Mane is aesthetically pleasing to watch, but Salah, even though it looks messy, he's better at his ability.
I wouldn't agree on that though, Sam. I would say Mane's got more to his game all round. You know,
I
like
disagree.
my man
I
was
think the
pointing out.
only ability I'd give to Mane over Salah's dribbling and scoring with his head. Anything else, creativity included, giving Salah.
All I'd say to that is you look at Mane's output since he's went to Bayern Munich. You leave Mane in the Liverpool squad, right? Mane isn't scoring 30 goals a season. You put Salah in that Bayern Munich squad, he's outperforming every single player in that Bayern Munich squad and scoring 40 goals. There's a difference. There's levels. Mane was brilliant at pressing the ball. He knew when to press. He knew when to go. He knew when to stay back with Robbo. It was chemistry. The Liverpool system and Robbo made Mane a better player, and Firmino, he was perfect for the Liverpool team and perfect for how Liverpool played.
The system helped them both, but look, statistically, Salah's better. On the eye test, as in ability-wise, I'm taking Salah too. I mean, people who watch Liverpool like in depth, like myself and other Liverpool fans who watched him week in, week out, you know, just from a creativity perspective, look, Mane looks better on the eye, as in he's more aesthetically pleasing to watch, but that does not mean he has more ability. Because Salah's passing and his creativity, specifically in the final third, and the amount of, I'm not even talking about assists, I'm talking about big chances created. Chances created is the Fugazi stat. Big chances created isn't. Big chances created is when you create like serious chance. So he's kind of like his passing and everything, he's actually improved so much on that side of things as well. And for me, I'm just saying, look, I think Salah's a better footballer. He's better statistically. And listen, exactly what Terry just said. Mane moved on to Bayern and we got our answer finally. So listen, if Mane moved to like Borussia Dortmund or he moved to like Marseille or something and he didn't get, you know, crazy numbers, we'd be like, okay, but he moved to Bayern Munich. With all due respect, you cannot allow Eric Choupo-Moting to be outperforming you. People in Bayern Munich 2 months after Sadio Mane signed were saying, where is the Mane that was at Liverpool?
But,
They were
but,
saying
but Hussam, let me disagree with you on that. There's a saying that it's not every cooking pot that can cook soup, right? Today I'm giving you African proverbs. It simply means that Mane was effective at Liverpool because at Liverpool he was almost a deity. He and Salah were the its, right? When the Liverpool,
but that's Albert. No. Listen,
I'm
not disagreeing with that.
My point.
I'm not disagreeing with that. My problem is you saying we should have sold Salah. That's just simply not true. Currently, as things stand, Salah is better than Mane.
I am agreeing with it. I'm saying that what I'm saying is simply that when Mane got to Bayern, at Bayern he wasn't the Liverpool Mane. Yeah, the jersey is red, but he wasn't the kingpin. Right? The team was not made around him. He was supposed to fit into something. That affects players. So Mane should have, at my point, I've always said Mane should never have left Liverpool. He should never have left Liverpool. And he was an idiot for predicating his money, the money that he needed to earn, to that of Salah, because Liverpool were willing to make him an offer. So be careful what you wish for. He's gotten what.
Yeah, be careful what you wish for. He wished for the wrong thing, not
exactly.
us. We did the right thing.
And make it worse, he even ended up missing the World Cup. That's so bad. That's like a curse, man. So listen, my own thing is Liverpool supporters should stop making that comparison between Mane and Salah. They used to complement each other very well. Now that thing has been broken. It should never have been. It affected Liverpool, but guess what? It has affected Mane even more. Right? It has affected Mane even more. It's just like all of us who are Liverpool, Arsenal supporter, Liverpool supporter, I get up and say, I'm not supporting Liverpool anymore. I'm going to support Middlesbrough because they wear red. And then see the heartache you will get when they lose left, right, and center. Look, Mane took a bad decision. He knows he took a but our team is trying to move on from the heartbreak. Let's just move on.
Okay.
Talking
I agree with
just real quickly, because I know you're going to want to, switch things up and that. Talking of bad decisions, Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz. This is kind of reiterates what I was saying earlier about not being a serious football club. I mean, apparently Arteta is the one that's pushing for this transfer. So, you know.
Can you explain the rationale behind it? Because I was talking about it with Hussam. Why do you want to have it?
I cannot explain that rationale, to be honest with you. I mean, like I try and think a little bit out of the box and think, well, what does Arteta want him for? He's a player that's, you know, been a failure in 3 seasons in the Premier League at Chelsea. You know, he's kind of living off the back of a Champions League final goal. Nobody really knows where he plays or where his best position is. But the more I look at it, right?
But even worse, my brother, if you have Gabriel Jesus, why would you want Kai Havertz?
Yeah. Well, this is the thing, right? Originally, I thought, okay, Kai Havertz. At the same time, we'd called our interest in Caicedo, right? So I was assuming that we was bringing in Kai Havertz to play maybe the 10 role and then move Odegaard to the 8 role, which will fill in for Xhaka, who's leaving, right? Because I think Odegaard would play that 8 role a lot better than Kai Havertz because he's already got the pressing to his game. He makes late runs in the box. He scores his goals. Defensively, maybe a little bit questionable, but it can be coached in his game, right? Whereas Kai Havertz likes that area in and around, you know, where the striker plays, just behind the striker. We see him predominantly playing like in the 10 at Bayern Leverkusen, and that was when he was at his best. But now, I'm looking at it now, and I've got a horrible feeling that Arteta's bringing him in to play the false 9. And if that is the case,
so you have
what a risk to take.
3 false 9s. You have Trossard, you have Jesus, and you have Kai Havertz. I thought you guys were really going to go in for Ivan Toney, but seeing that the guy is suspended, why don't you just wait for him? Because
I don't know, bro. Because I say the same thing. Yeah, I'd rather Ivan Toney, although he can't play until January. He offers us something different. You know, he's physical, he's big, he's strong, he scores goals, and that's the big thing for me, right? Because again, I'll go back to last season. The reason why Gabriel Jesus got away with not scoring as many goals as what he should be doing in that striker role, let's be honest, is because other players around him were scoring goals as well. So it kind of made up for the fact that Jesus only got 12 goals last season. I think we need a goal scorer. We need somebody who guarantees us 20 goals a season. Ivan Toney can do that.
You need Ivan Toney.
And Kai Havertz just don't. So I'm really intrigued about this one in particular because I want to know how Mikel Arteta is going to use him in this Arsenal side. And I want to know, you know, it's an intriguing one because it might be successful. It might well not. And it could end up costing either Arteta or Edu, whoever's sanctioned the transfer, their job, inevitably. You know, so
possibly 100%. That's a possibility right there. Good hearing your opinions, Brandon. Thank you so much for joining me on the call show, being so patient as well.
You know,
big up.
I watched.
Albert, let me just switch up to the guys because there's so many people in the background. Big up to you, Mo. Big up to Terry. Big up to you, Brandon, as well. See you guys in the comment section. Next up, I've got Momo, Zlatan, and Bimero coming on. Big up to you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Big up to Momo. It's actually, I think, his birthday today, if I'm not mistaken. Not the Tom Little type birthday. It's actually his birthday.
Thank you.
Big up to Bimero. Big up to Zlatan. Happy birthday to you, my brother. So Spaces has opened up for anyone who wants to join us. We're doing one final round after this before we lock it off because we've been live for 2 hours. So, Momo, you are the first here. So talk to me, brother. Actually, let me just read the super chat out. Sorry, my bad. Amin says Jordan Henderson is technically better than Gundo. I mean, I'm so happy we've all reached a level to know that you're just a troll, a full-time troll on this channel. So fair enough. I'm gonna let you say dumb stuff and say thank you for the super chat.
Joe says, come on, you should be laughing at that. That's funny, right?
FSG are starting the propaganda. They've just stated that they have a 368 million hole, which means no more players. FSG are not serious every year. I didn't see that. When I saw your super chat, I went to Twitter to try find it, but I didn't see it, my brother. Listen, I'm FSG out, and that's exactly why You know, I want the owners gone because I don't think they could take us to the next level at all. I don't think they could genuinely improve us, you know, above what they've gotten now. Like it is what it is. However, they're liars. Like we're not in a hole whatsoever. We've actually not spent money at all. So we're nowhere near in a hole. We actually should be positive in terms of money we got. But anyway, big up to you, Joe. Thanks so much for
Hossam,
the
there's another saying that if you are in a hole, stop digging, right?
That's also true. That's also true.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on, Momo, my brother. Go on.
Yo, big up everyone. Thank you for the happy birthday wishes. Yeah, I just wanted to speak about the transfer window so far from Liverpool point of view. Like,
Momo, can you speak up a little bit so we can hear you?
oh,
please?
is that better?
Yeah. Just come a bit
Okay.
closer or just speak a bit louder.
Okay, yeah. So basically, I just wanted to speak about Liverpool's transfer dealings from Liverpool point of view. Like, MacAllister was a good start, but obviously we need more players. Clearly,
Your voice is gone again, Momo. I'm gonna need you to speak up.
we need three players clearly because three midfielders, sorry, and then we need two defenders. I think if we are to challenge Man City for the title race this season, that's my expectation. But the reality of the situation is, I think Liverpool are gonna fall short in the transfer market as we always do. We'll probably buy midfielders, but probably one defender, and we'll be short a player like we've always been for every single transfer window. So I think the reality of the situation is I think we're going to fall short again, unfortunately, and end up top four, which obviously isn't good for the football club. We should always be trying to win the Premier Leagues, the Champions Leagues, because that's what the foundation of the club has been brought under from the days of Bill Shankly and Bob Paisley. So it's very important that we maintain that, and it's difficult considering the competition now with Man City and Newcastle, Chelsea, United, and even Arsenal. So we need to up our game, but we have FSG as the owners, so it's either the only way is to get them out, but it's not easy, as you can see from United trying to get the Glazers out for the last 10 years almost. So yeah, it's just one of those things where it's just like annoying as hell because it's just the same old movie again every single transfer window from Liverpool point of view. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, Momo, listen, I caught most of what you said there. I think your audio kept going in and out, but first of all, happy birthday. Comment section, make sure you're wishing Momo a happy birthday. Big up to you, Momo. Here's the thing. Once again, as I've said previously, that's the exact reason why I'm FSG out. That is the exact reason why I want this ownership group to leave the football club, because I just don't think they can take us forward. There's a lack of sustainability there. They just can't take us to the next level. It's as simple as that. That's just the big problem with this whole FSG situation. And until they get out of the club, we're never going to have sustained success. Ever. So that's my thing. Big up to Terry, who says, damn, had a good topic, might be back soon. Big up. I responded to you, Terry, in the comments. I really thought you was done. My bad. I appreciate you coming on. I thought you just wanted to talk about the whole Salah Mane thing. This is the problem with people like Mo Ali. They just turn this conversation into a conversation that shouldn't even be a conversation, I'll be so honest with you. But thank you so much, Terry, for the super chat. I appreciate you, and thank you for coming on as well and helping me just ruin Mo. Big up Momo. Let's go to Bimero next, my brother. Arsenal fan. Talk to me. What are you saying?
Thank you for having me. I don't know where to start because there was a conversation about Salah and Mane. I mean, I gave my expert verdict, on the first day of the season when you had me on your channel because, I mean, Mane was a good player for you. There's no doubt about it. He helped you with the Premier League win, the Champions League, the trophies you've won in the last 4 to 5 years. But in my opinion, I just thought it was time to move on because I said it and I'll still say it again. He massively declined after the 1920 title winning season. The following season when he was going 8 games without a goal. That's not what you expect from a forward player who you're expecting to score you 20 goals a season. So I thought that it was the right decision to move on because if that was Pep would move on from him. So it was the right decision for you to move on from him. He's your legend, but it was the right decision. Now, that's it for the Salah and Mane conversation. Now, I would go into Arsenal. To be honest, right now, it's literally a shambles with the transfers and everything, because for the last 6 years, people have been telling me that you need to be in the Champions League to attract top quality players. I'm like, that's a fallacy, because Manchester United attracted Paul Pogba and Zlatan in the Europa League. We signed Aubameyang when he was one of the best strikers in Europe when we're in the Europa League, and now we're not going to sign the top quality players. It's literally crazy right now, because I don't want to see Havertz. Like, I wish Arteta and Edu could be sacked today, because they're holding my football club back. And I really think that next season we're really gonna struggle for top four next season. Like, I'm saying it because Brandon said it, like, with Manchester United having the season after they finished second with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I see the same thing happening with Arsenal, because
no way, Primero, you too?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do, because, like, it's really complicated right now, because the fans right now are obnoxious. Because when you have, I mean, I don't want to talk crap about AFTV and all that, but when you have fans on that channel, like, disregarding the Carling Cup, saying things like, that's not a cup that we should be going for. Like, why would you be disrespecting that cup? And, they've been arguing things like, oh, Manchester United didn't have a better season than us. I disagree. They definitely did have a better season than us, because, I mean, I love Lee Gunnar, and he's been saying it for how many years now? He's been saying the aim of elite sports is to win. And for the last 3 seasons, we haven't won anything. I really want a big name manager, someone like Diego Simeone, someone like Ancelotti.
You're Arteta out too?
What?
You're Arteta out too?
Yeah. Yeah, I was Arteta out before he got the job. I don't want Arteta here. Like, I want a big name manager.
What's going
here.
on, brother? What is this? You're Arteta out. You Edu out.
Yeah, I'm Edu out. I'm Vinay out. I am all of them out. Like, I am deluded fans out. Like, I'm everyone out, because this club literally needs a reset right now. We smashed the stadium down back in 2004 to compete with Europe's elite, and we haven't done that for years. We've won only 4 FA Cups since we've moved to the Emirates Stadium. Like, it's time for us to start winning major honors right now. And the fans were saying, like, we didn't bottle the Premier League. We definitely did bottle the Premier League. And now what we need to do is regroup, get the best players, because right now I think we need 5 to 6 players next season to compete.
My brother,
yeah,
don't be too harsh on yourself. If you had Saliba and Tomiyasu to the end of the league, you would have won it.
No. Tomiyasu, I want him out.
Your problems began when Saliba got injured. You see, certain players make a big difference to a team.
True.
Not only in his ability, but his ability to inspire the other players around him.
Mm-hmm.
You notice how my own countryman, Thomas Partey, dropped a level or two, dropped a peg or two when Saliba was gone.
True.
There's a science to it. It's an exact science.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think you should be too hard on yourself. Arsenal, before the start of this league, were not counted to be in the top 4.
I agree.
Gave you a chance. You nearly won the league. Don't be too hard on yourself. You are competing. It's like fighting the guy in the Terminator. If you are human, Man City are a cyborg team. Okay, they have no feelings, nothing. They're just a machine that keeps rolling. If you're going to compete with them, you need to have a certain fortitude, and you don't even have. See, you don't have the wherewithal to even go wrong. Remember 2 years ago, on the last day of
I really
the
can't
season,
believe you're Arteta out too, Albert. Albert, how can you be Arteta out even? No.
I'm not.
No, I'm saying, like, do you think it's crazy, or is it just me?
No, I mean, look, people think I am crazy for being Klopp out. So I'm not gonna.
You are crazy, to be fair.
Well, yeah, it's his team, okay? But I have my reasons for being Klopp out, and some of the reasons are coming out. Sam, for a whole year, we've been spun a yarn about Jude. Jude is now telling us that he had made up his mind a long time ago not to be a Liverpool supporter. There are other things, but you guys have said we should give him a chance. So let's give him a chance to right the wrongs. Let's see what happens. So my brother, don't be too asked about you guys coming second. I think you put in a great shift. Get your players fit. I don't think you are making a good start with buying Kai Havertz, though. I have to say that.
Exactly. I don't want Kai Havertz.
What you need is a striker, a cold finisher, like Evan Toney.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Evan Toney against Liverpool, Brentford against Liverpool. I was in the stadium. After the match, I had a headache. The kind of physical presence he presents to the team. So get Evan Toney. We won't get him. I wanted him, but we won't get him. Clearly, we won't get him. We rather spend the money, buying Nunez. It reminds me of somebody who wanted to buy a chicken farm. He gets a chicken farm, and his rooster is crippled. Can't mount the hens. That's what we have.
No, but the problem is with them getting Ivan Toney is that he can only play in January. So for 4 or 5 months there.
Yeah, wait for him.
I mean, I've wanted Ivan Toney for long. I get what you're saying, Albert, on, nobody expected us to, win the league, and we were top of the league 93% of the season. I totally agree. But what you need to understand is this. Expectations change over the course of the season, and you don't understand how long we've had to wait as Arsenal fans to want to compete for a title. We haven't, where we are right now is where we were 8 years ago under Wenger when we finished second to Leicester, and that was deemed not good enough. Fans were out protesting. So how is it that 8 years ago it wasn't deemed good enough, but now it's suddenly progress or something? No, it doesn't work that way.
Let me.
It just doesn't.
Do you know, or do you realize that Man City themselves didn't do that well during the season?
Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
Right?
True.
So any team, and I think Hussam has said this several times. If I'm lying, correct me. You've said it that any team that really wanted to win the league that badly should have won it this year, because Manchester City themselves were not firing on all cylinders until towards the end of the season. Mm-hmm. So the thing is, that team has an ability to be cold. They have an ability to finish hard because they've got squad depth, right? This is a team that has Calvin Phillips sitting on the bench. This is a team that can pull out a player and bring Phil Foden in. They have a team, even players like Rico Lewis and Cole Palmer are good players. So every team has to, if you really want to compete with Man City, you need to have somebody who can play like Rodri. You need to have somebody who can play like Ruben Diaz.
This is why I wish we signed Caicedo in January, because if we had done that, we would have won the Prem.
How much money did they spend on Akanji? 15 million.
Yeah,
how much money did they spend on Julian Alvarez? Julian Alvarez, by Man City, starts in every single team in the league.
True.
So they have squad depth. That's what they have. And of course, they have a great manager. I don't care what anybody says. It pains me to admit it, but they have a fantastic manager. So if you guys are if you have a manager who is always giving the players hugs and kisses instead of straightening them, that's what's going to happen. You need to develop steel. And developing steel does not begin with getting Kai Havertz. There are some players that I find completely hopeless and helpless in the league. Kai Havertz is one of them, because Mason Mount is another. I don't know what I can pinpoint to and say he does right. And you guys want to spend 60 million on him? Is it 60 million? I mean, rewrite those rules, man. Go to the continent and get Florian Wirtz. That's his name. Get a striker. Arsenal needs a striker. You don't need any more false nine. You have 2 of them already.
True.
And one of the things too with Gabriel Jesus, the reason, Pep is cold. He was able to sell Zinchenko and Jesus to his rivals.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's a guy who's cold.
Yeah.
All Jesus does is flop and look for penalties.
I've always said if you wanted KDB or Haaland, that conversation would last 3 seconds. And it would end with no.
Exactly. No, 3 seconds. Does it take 3 seconds to say no?
Yeah.
I think it's 1
1
second. No.
This is why this is why I want Arteta and Edu gone, because they're going for young players, like players who are inexperienced,
Arteta
like
gone, I think it's too early.
like
Edu, I
no,
understand.
this is why I want both of them gone, because they're going on to sign another young player like Kai Havertz, which is no good. He is living. It's still till this day living off of a Champions League final goal, and this is why I want both of them gone, because when they sign players, young players like, like I don't know what the guy's name is from Southampton that has been attracting. That's been, being looked at by top clubs right now. Young
Lavia.
players.
Romeo
Yeah, thank
Lavia.
you, Lavia. This is the reason why I don't want them, because they're going for young players so that nobody will be held accountable. Because they know that if they go sign players like Declan Rice, Caicedo, Ivan Toney, players like Rafinha, like big name players. Now expectations change. Like there is gonna be like accountability from the top, but in our like circle, Arsenal, the fan bases and everybody, it all has to be like a love fest. Nobody wants to be held accountable and all of that. This is why I want like the hierarchy gone.
You want a plug and play. You want plug and play players at this level. I agree with you. If you're challenging for the title,
because it's time to challenge now, because we're behind schedule.
Romeo Lavia is not a player you buy if you want to for 50 million. No.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah, I hear you.
Totally agree.
You've
made solid arguments, but I just think the Arteta thing is just way too soon now. He just finished second.
So let me ask you a classic Hussam question, right?
No, but it's
let me
true,
wear
because we have
Hussam's
to
bald head
listen.
and ask you a question.
Sure, ask the question.
If you get rid of Arteta, who do you want?
If I get rid of Arteta right now?
Yeah.
If you say
Simeone,
sure.
Simeone, Hansi Flick, bro, there are better managers right now who would do better.
Simeone and Hansi Flick.
Those are managers that I want right now at Arsenal, because I want the manager that can come.
5 minutes at
I want managers that can come and win me major honors. Like, we're starving for success at Arsenal. Like, we terribly need success at Arsenal right now. So yeah, I want better managers, because if we have Simeone in the dressing room, guess what? The culture and everything is gonna change at Arsenal, because like at Arsenal right now, we have one of the most loser fan bases, not just in the Premier League, but in elite football for big size at Arsenal. Like, we accept mediocrity. Like, we take any little thing. That's why I want a manager with a winning mentality that can instill it not just in the players, but in the culture of Arsenal. That's what I want. So
okay,
yeah,
fair enough. Listen, I'm not gonna gatekeep your opinion. You can have your own opinion. I just think it's too soon. Next season, we're gonna find out what Arteta.
He's gonna get sacked next season. Watch and see.
We'll see. Okay,
he's gonna get sacked.
Yeah. You'll remind me of this moment if it happens.
No problem.
So let's go to Zlatan
me.
next before we add in the final five. Go on, Zlatan.
Big man, that was outrageous claim, but okay. So we are that club that is basically flirts with any player that projected us. We've been linked with Chouameni again. We've been linked with a couple of other players, as if we are we are that guy that just chases the ex-girlfriend. But yeah, so I just saw some link that was happening. This is one of the areas that I think Liverpool have been lacking, is that going for South American talent when they are at a discount. I don't believe that we need them to be playing at a European league for us to take a risk and get them. One of the links that I saw was Alan Varela from Boca Juniors. He is sort of like he's a DM basically that sort of plays like Rodri or Fabinho, that cleans up stuff whenever there is an attack. Costs about 15 million euros, but our transfer committee or whoever is in charge, they would want them to move to Wolves and buy him for 50 million pound. So just one of those things that we have to wait for. Another thing I wanted to discuss was, we had a link. We have a couple of links that happened at the sale of the club. I don't think it will happen soon. unless until United actually sells their club, and then that's when FSG will probably sell. But yeah, GIC looks like they pulled out of the deal, or they were linked with buying third of the club. There was the Qataris who are now buying Manchester United. And then the Liberty Media, which is basically owns F1, Formula One, and they're supposed to be worth like $40-50 billion. So anyway, I'm just sharing that what's going on, sort of reporting on it. But it seems like our owners are not serious about anything, and they don't give a shit about anything at this point.
I agree with you completely, and once again, there's a reason why I'm FSG out, not Klopp out, because I think they're the biggest problem currently at Liverpool Football Club. We get rid of them, and then we see where we go from there. But for me, Fenway Sports Group are an issue, and that's why I think we're never going to have sustained success at this football club.
Hussam,
Yes.
there's something that many people don't get. Our owners are not interested in us being at the top. They are interested in us qualifying for Champions League. That's it.
Yeah.
So, see, they are acting
Sure.
now because their bottom line has been affected. So, for those of you who were willing us to be fourth, you were wrong. If we had been fourth, we wouldn't even have gotten MacAllister. So now that a 60 million euro hole has been bent in their pocket, now they want midfielders who can put us there. I don't want us, like I said, I always tell Liverpool fans, don't worry too much about what anybody else does. It's what you do. You were talking about Alan Varela. I was just watching him just before I tuned into this program. They were playing, Boca Juniors were playing Tigre. He is a very, very good player. He is a player who can fit into our team. Even if you give him the cup matches to play for a month or two, he will easily slot into place. He will play well. There's no need in Liverpool waiting for Jorge Mendes and his gang to go and get him, take him to Benfica or Sporting and come and sell him to us for 100 million euro in a year. Get him now. It's 10 million pounds. Get him now. If you buy a player for 10 million pounds and he fails, what else do you have to lose? How much did we buy Calvin Ramsey? Right? We bought a
6
pack
million.
of wafers. We bought a pack of wafers for 6 million, and now we are sending him to Premier. So we can't lose. But you know what Liverpool will do? They will faff around until somebody else goes to get him. So understand what our owners want. Our owners are interested in increasing the bricks and mortar, rebuying Melwood, because they see Liverpool as a real estate project. The guy who was talking about us selling money for Salah for 90 million, that 90 million would have gone towards finishing paying for the Anfield Road stand. It won't buy a single player.
100%.
The winger market isn't that great at the moment.
No, it's not. Especially if you're a
He said
right-sided
100%
winger. There's
Mbappe.
nobody.
They see us
Certain
as a
people-
shopping mall.
Like you
They
guys,
see
I don't know
us
what
as a
certain
mall.
people spoke. 150 million for Mbappe. 150 only. Are you mad, bro? This
Yeah,
is-
exactly.
Yeah, but if you pay
150 million would be.
million, you pay
Yeah,
150
150
million,
would
you
be-
haven't paid his
I'm
mum.
saying I know what you're gonna say, but I'm saying even the base price isn't gonna be 100. Even the
It's
base.
not,
No.
you haven't given anything to his mum. You have to
Yeah,
pay his mum. You have
No,
to pay
I'm
his
saying
dad.
even just purely his price tag cannot be 150. It's probably
And
250.
another thing
Yeah,
that
around
many-
250.
Many
Yeah.
of our supporters
If it was
don't
150,
understand.
you'd make that back in shirt sales in the first 3 hours. Like,
Right. You can't remove a player like Mbappe from the highlights of Paris and bring him to the dunk in on Merseyside. You can't do that. Our players don't even live in Liverpool. All our players live in Manchester. For those of you who don't know, all our players live down the M26. They don't
Listen,
live in Liverpool.
if the only way we can buy Mbappe, if somehow Jim Ratcliffe gets Man United and Qatar can buy us, that's the only way I see
That's
that.
it. You
Yeah,
need
that's
a
the only way it
very
can
rich owner.
Yeah,
who-
that's it. Like we have to strike gold, basically.
Yes.
That's the only way. That's the only way.
By the way, we
Anyway.
can set up a GoFundMe for
You
to
cannot
sign
go fund
players.
me 250 million. If you could go fund me 250 million, I would have done that for myself. Big
No,
up to you.
well, we have either we do that or we open
It's not sustainable, my
OnlyFans.
brother. Are you going to go fund me his salary as well?
Oh well, if it takes that.
Exactly.
No, I
And
just
he,
want to
listen,
Mbappe. I'm just
I've said
joking.
this already before. If you tell John W. he has to pay 1 million a week to someone, he's gonna get a heart attack. So let's
There's a reason
I mean,
why Real Madrid don't want to pay anything for him. They want to give him the transfer fees as signing on bonus.
Yeah.
That's why they don't want to pay anything for him. So
yeah, I think the whole Mbappe thing is just cap, man. He's listen.
FSG
In our
is
life,
worse than
let me
the
explain something to you
Glazers and
guys.
the
In our
Cronkies.
lifetime, unless Qatar buy Liverpool, it's just not gonna happen.
It's
But
not
anyway,
gonna
look,
happen. See, you need a
let
guy.
me just say thank you to Bimero, thank you to Zlatan. We're gonna add in the final 5 now.
Thank you
before
for
we
having me
wrap
on.
up.
Thank you
Big up
for
to you,
having me.
Bimero. Thank you for joining
Thank
us.
you.
Big up to Zlatan, my brother. I appreciate you, Habibi.
Thank you.
The guy who infamously brought the London Camel on the channel. Big up to
The
you.
London Camel.
See you.
See you, Akhi. Big up to you. Next up, we're gonna add everyone who's in the background. I just want Liam, who I see you in the back, and I see Ayman. I just want to see you guys' faces. I want to see if that's the Irish Liam, and I want to see that is the Irish Liam, I think. And I want to see Ayman. If you want to just show me your face before we add you, so we can add everyone here. Big up to Raed, big up to my brother Cam, our star boy. Big up to K-Mac, who's back. Man like Gagandeep is in the building. Big up to Liam. Ayman, unless you show me your face, I just can't add you. Anyway, Raed, you are here first. Talk to the people, my brother, and thank you for joining us.
Okay, thank you for having me, Hussam.
Always welcome.
I'm an Arsenal fan and also a Real Madrid fan, but I would like to say something in regards to Mohamed Salah. I don't know why a lot of people are disrespecting him. I think he has been 6 years in Liverpool. Three out of the 6 years he has finished as a top scorer in the Premier League, and he has been breaking records left, right, and center.
Yeah.
And
Carry on.
Sorry.
We hear you.
Yeah. And in regards to the other guy was saying Arteta out. Like, I don't know why Arteta out, man. Nobody expected Arsenal to finish second last season. What they did was simply incredible. Yes, they need to fix a couple of positions, but if they do, I think they can compete again and challenge Man City and Liverpool, and I don't think Man United to the title for next season.
Yeah, first of all, I'm happy you're defending Mo Salah even as an Arsenal fan. It's just everyone has just come to his defense today because it's just people are just chatting.
You have to because sorry, even this season Liverpool had a bad season, but he scored 19 goals, and it was not one of his best seasons. He scored goals, he assists, the way he plays. You have to defend Mo Salah, and in my opinion, he is much better than Mane.
Man, I don't even think you should waste your time defending. Mo Salah doesn't need defense. He's the most popular sportsman in the Arab world. Listen, the guy was sitting somewhere playing his football. There was a presidential election in Egypt, and he got 3.5 million votes. He didn't even want to contest.
True.
He doesn't need defense. He doesn't need defense, man. Like Hossam always says, the day he leaves, we're gonna miss him. But I don't want to.
When our right winger scores 8 goals and we say he has a good season, we'll remember.
We're gonna get Musa fucking Diaby.
Yeah, that's
what a fucking joke.
Let me just ask Raed a quick question before we go to Cam. As an Arsenal, first of all, where are you from, Raed? You Egyptian? Jordan.
No,
Ya
halla wallah.
Big up, my brother.
I was going to say, you sound like Mo Salah.
Yeah, that's why I said Egyptian. I thought he was Egyptian first. But yeah,
Hussam, he may just be next door to you, man. Check your next door neighbors.
No, he ain't fine.
I thought you were like doing a Mo Salah impression. I was like, what's this about?
Big up. So let me just ask you a question about Arsenal, since you said you're an Arsenal fan. Regarding Arsenal next season, do you think what do you think you need to challenge again for the Premier League or win it?
I think we need Rice, definitely Rice. I think I would love to have Cancelo because Zinchenko, he does some stupid mistakes that could have cost us the game. I do think I know it might be an unpopular opinion, but I would get Kai Havertz. I think he did not take his chance at Chelsea. I think Chelsea has been a mess from Graham Potters to Lampard to I think he did not get his chance. Caicedo, but and a proper striker. Jesus is a false nine, but I do want a proper striker up top for Arsenal.
Okay. I think that's valid. That's valid. That's a valid argument right there. Big up to you, Raid Akhi. Let's go to Cam next, our star boy. Go on.
Sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
My brother, talk to me.
Yes, sir. I think we as Liverpool fans are greatly underestimating how big the gap truly is right now between us and Manchester City. And I do think that Kevin Thuram, MacAllister, and them are very good signings, astute signings. Well, Kevin Thuram isn't through the door yet, but from what we're led to believe, 35 million for him and 35 million for MacAllister is great. But we also have to look at what Manchester City are doing. I mean, I know they're losing Ilkay Gundogan, who's been one of the most clutch players and their captain, but they're about to bring in Mateo Kovacic, and I know every Liverpool fan remembers that performance he had against us in the quote-unquote quad season at Stamford Bridge away, where he hit one of the best goals I've ever seen. And him and that Manchester City team is going to cook. That's going to be unreal. And then also the guy that we were supposed to be
Whoa. I think that was Gagandeep. Gagandeep, you've got a microphone to fix, my brother. Okay, that's definitely not
That guy is
Gagandeep.
really cooking.
Who the hell is this? What's going on?
Somebody being electrocuted or something.
What's...
Cooking.
Okay, so it's not even Gagandeep. So what's going on?
That's definitely not me.
Yeah,
it's
I
not
muted my
Gagandeep,
mic too.
sorry.
So
It's not me either.
Liam.
No, what's going on? No, it's not me.
Okay, so who the hell is it? Is it Albert then?
No.
Yeah, Albert just been speaking for 3 hours.
No,
Right, just spoke.
it's not
So
me.
it's
My
not
wife,
the-
my wife is in the other room. It's not me.
Okay, so listen. There's only one solution to this because it's clearly everyone's innocent here. So just be on mute unless you're the guy speaking, because I don't know what the hell is going on.
It's
over
making that
here.
noise.
We said it might be you.
No, it ain't me because I hear it, Bozo. Okay, I'm gonna just mute everyone except Cam. So just put yourself on mute unless you're Cam. Okay, go on, Cam.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like I was saying, they're about to get Gvardiol through the door as well. He's going to be unreal for Manchester City. I mean, we're looking at potentially another great Manchester City team that's capable of. I don't see why they're not capable of doing the Centurions if they take the Premier League more seriously next season, because they got that Champions League already. And I'm going to be real with the links and with the signings that we're linked to. I just don't see us reaching that height right now. And we're seeing Fabrizio say, no way 50 million for Nico Barella, which is somebody I think that could add a lot of quality to our team. And I don't see FSG shilling out more than 50 million for one single player in this transfer window, if I'm going to be honest. If they do, it's going to be I just can't see it being Nico Barella. I think it's going to be somebody else. And I'm sorry, a lot of the optimism that Liverpool fans are holding right now, I don't hold that same. We don't really live in a fairy tale world anymore. Manchester City quickly snapped everybody into reality next season of what the potential that we're going up against. And I don't see us building something, because by the time we get to build something, we got to remember Newcastle also have a blank checkbook too. If they decide to do what, Manchester City did, I mean, that's another Galactico giant that we have to face against. And Manchester United getting the Qataris, it's just like I see us falling by the wayside very quickly, unless we do something very
Jim
drastic.
Ratcliffe,
Serious.
I love you, bro.
Everybody is forgetting about Sheffield United. Sheffield United is another Sheikh-owned team.
Really?
Yes.
Stop. Albert, don't even.
And he comes from the
That's
house
completely
of Saud.
different. That's not state-owned. That's an actual, just a businessman. Like
He comes from the house of Saud, man.
That's
He comes from the house
just a
of Saud.
businessman, bro. That's just a businessman. No, that's not the same. So, Infinite, let me ask you a question, Mr. Cam, since you come with
Yes,
all
sir.
this negative energy.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Let me ask you. So, do you truly listen? You predicting Liverpool next season comes down to one very simple question. Do you think that the 5 or 6 world-class players that we've got in our team, that this is their true level this season? That's what it comes down to.
No, absolutely. And I think in this new system, we're gonna cook. I have no doubts that we're gonna cook. But the level of cooking that we're going to do is just not on the level that Man City can do.
We play one game a week until March.
And that's facts. And that's facts. But Manchester City, they just don't really even care about that. They have the squad to where it doesn't matter if they're playing one game a week or 3 games a week. They're just going to be good. They genuinely have the potential to go get 100 points next season. Genuinely. Can you say the same thing about Liverpool? I can't.
Listen, all I know is, you know what? I said it earlier on in the call-in show, my first little 10-minute monologue. I said, bro, within the first 10 games, we'd know what Liverpool are on. You know, Liverpool aren't really like, we ain't really a surprise package team or anything. Within the first 10 games, I tell you whether we're in a title race or not. So
absolutely.
I understand why you're worried. I understand where all this comes from. All I'm saying is, I would trust us to beat 95% of this league if we are playing one game a week, and the players that me and you agree don't think, we don't think that basically this is their level. We don't think Van Dijk is worse than Maguire. We don't think.
I agree.
Like, so yeah, because Salah was doing an impersonation of Stuart Downing the first 3 months. Van Dijk was absolutely horrible. Trent was shocking. Robertson's shocking. Fabinho was dreadful. So like, I don't think all of these guys are just crap players. I'm gonna be honest with you.
If I'm gonna be honest with you, this year I think was the most vulnerable Man City we've ever seen. And I know that sounds crazy now that they won the treble, but if we're just taking, if we had Liverpool at full force, the Mo Salah getting at the back line of a Kanji, like he was already doing them crazy when we were playing them. So like this, the strengthening that they're about to do.
I've already said it. I said if we were in Arsenal's position, we win the league this year.
Absolutely, we do. Absolutely, I genuinely believe that. And I know it's going to sound bitter or whatever, but I genuinely believe that last year's Manchester City, if they had been playing in the league with the 1920 or 1819 Liverpool, they would have genuinely.
Or even the 2021, 2022 Liverpool.
Come. You are so right. Let's look at the stats. They beat us at their home. We beat them at our home, right?
Facts.
We beat Manchester United. We absolutely routed Manchester United.
Right, that's you. Right, I think it's you making the noise. There's a little bit of an audio bug. So yeah, try leave and rejoin if you want. Go on, Albert.
So we beat Manchester United at home. They beat us at home. What we failed to do was to beat Leeds United at home. We lost to Bournemouth. We lost.
Albert is using my argument now too, which I agree with.
It's a valid. You see, you're an engineer.
If we just beat the teams we're required to beat, we're already 20 points better off, just like that.
Exactly. You are an engineer, so we are trained to add and subtract and make it make sense. That's what you do. So for me, the issues are the little what we call linguini, the linguini that we didn't take care of. That's our problem. It's not the big boys. How many of the big boys did we lose to? And in fact, when it comes to Manchester City, some people did us some favors. Everton did us a favor. Southampton did us a favor. Brentford beat them home and away, didn't they? So we should have been able to cook. Brighton gave them issues. So it is us. You don't lose 3-0 to Brighton, 3-0 to Wolves, keep losing, and then expect to, Liverpool supporters, let me tell you this. Some of us have been around for a long time. The best thing that happened to us is for us to come fit. Now that we are fit, at least our unambitious owners have seen that if they don't put a modicum of funds into our team, we are going to keep going down. Your manager can't ask you for Gvardiol in January, and then in the summer you give him Van de Ven and tell him Van de Ven can run, but he can't jump. What the hell is that?
Okay. Listen, big up to Cam.
And
Cam,
then
listen, bro.
Manchester City go and get Gvardiol. So what you expect? You get what you paid for.
Yeah, I agree. 99% of times in football, you just get what you pay for. Big up to Zlatan says, Akhi Sam, the best thing to set up is John Henry is a broke or set up FSG exterior John Henry. Listen, I hate John Henry, but we cannot go fund me his ass out of here. We cannot collect 2.5 billion from random Liverpool supporters. We just can't, man. I like the idea, but I don't know if we could trust someone to have 5 billion.
Take time.
Because he'd probably just run away with the money, But big up to you, Zlatan, my brother. Big up to Peyrad, who says, I could listen to Uncle Albert all day. Does he have a channel? If he doesn't, he should. First of all, don't make Uncle Albert's head all bigger than it already is. This guy is
No,
already...
let me tell you what, I'm lazy, man. So I can't do this. I'm just lazy.
Listen, Uncle Albert is
I'm
already
retired. I'm
specified.
lazy. No, can't
He's
do it.
retired. He's retired.
Peyrad.
He ain't trying to work again. He ain't trying to
Peyrad,
work.
you should check out my channel. I was speaking to him for 2.5 hours.
Exactly. Listen, you'd find Albert. You know what you should do? You should just search Colin Show, and every
I
single
like to
time
do
you're gonna find
cameos. I like to talk. I like to have fun with my friends, but I can't manage this. No, I don't even wake up early enough to do anything, and I sleep early.
Big up Peyrad, man. Big up Peyrad. Big up to Zlatan as well. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. There's still 200 people watching us. We're gonna go to K-Mac. Go on, my brother.
How are we doing, everyone? We good? I've been listening to a lot of negativity. I'm supposed to be the negative one. I feel like I feel positive. I feel like we're moving in the right direction. I feel like, you know, Klopp got his kick up the arse. You know, we did finish 5th, which is a good thing, by the way, because that's what happened to Arsenal and they got backed. It looks like we're getting backed. We're linked with all the right players. We've got all the right people on the job. All the right stuff's coming out of the right journalists. And I feel like we're going to get the players that we need. You know, at the end of the day, you have to look at the league next season. Man City always have a stumble at the start. Okay, Man City always have these little wobbly moments at the start, and they've got a big transition because they're going to lose a defender, they're going to lose a couple of midfielders. They're probably going to lose Kyle Walker. You know, there's a couple of changes they're going to have to make, and some of the integration might take a bit of time. Then you've got Chelsea, who are just completely all over the place. You know, they're probably going to be having a fire sale. You know, and it looks like, you know, Todd Bowley's going to try and do weird swap deals with players and try and play Football Manager again. So that's going to be interesting, and I couldn't give a crap. You know, if they get relegated, great. And then you've got Arsenal. Just enjoy it, Arsenal. Like, you're doing well. Like, so what? You bottled it. I mean, you bottled the Europa League as well. But you're used to that. But just enjoy it. Like, you're doing well. You came second. You know, you basically got, you know, Pep Guardiola's reserves, and you'll probably have a few more next season. So just enjoy it. And then Manchester United, I really couldn't care, like, who buys them or whatever. They'll probably just waste money and buy loads of players that end up being crap for them. So I don't care. I just want Liverpool to do well. And if we get top 4 and we win a trophy, I think that's progress, because we've got a big rebuild. We've got a big rebuild. And everybody's talking about midfielders. We need to worry about defence, because we are going to have Matip and Gomez as our backup defenders. And that is frightening. I'm sorry. And if Virgil van Dijk gets another injury or falls off, then we're down to Gomez or Matip with Konate. And that is scary. And if we play this you know, inverted right back, Konate is basically doing 2 jobs every game, right back and centre back, and that's the worry for me. You know, we need to get defenders in.
I agree with you completely. Albert can just check your WhatsApp for me. I agree with you completely, K-Mac. I think, look, that's why I said I think centre back is just as much as a priority for me as midfield. I think we need it. And the thing is, you know, like, when it comes to this whole defensive situation, my worry is all 4 are injury prone. So Virgil, Konate, Gomez, and Matip, all 4 are injury prone. So, like, I do think we need the centre back, and I hope to God we do sign one, because we just absolutely need it, and I think it's a priority too. But yeah, I agree.
I checked it.
Okay, I agree with what most of what you just said. Big up to you, my brother. Let me go to Gagan Deep next, man. Like Gagan Deep, talk to me, brother. What are you saying?
What you said? You guys good, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, big up the panel as each and every time, as always.
just touching on what K-Mac actually said about why people are so negative about this up and coming transfer window. I can give a positive aspect on it of what I think may happen, but I also understand why people are wary of this transfer window. So this is basically Liverpool 2.0, technically. We can look at it as this being Liverpool 2.0 and this transfer being very reminiscent of the 2018 transfer window, where we addressed areas which were an absolute necessity in order to prepare us to compete for the league and Champions League and other major honours, and then which obviously led us to the pinnacle Champions League, Premier League, back-to-back years. So that could happen. That's one scenario. However, the reason why I can understand why a lot of Liverpool fans are quite wary of the transfer window is since 2018, we've never addressed every single area required in order us to fully prepare ourselves to compete for the season ahead. Since 2018 was the last time we did that. Case in point, 2019 we win the Champions League. We are in this position of power. What happened? We got in Adrian on a free, Sepp Vandenberg, Harvey Elliott. I mean, that's not essentially strengthening the team, is it? But people are going to come back to me and say, but we won the league. What are you complaining about? You got to look at the context. The spine of that team, that whole season, we were so I don't think people understand how lucky we were that we didn't get any major injuries to any of our spine. Our spine being Alisson, Van Dijk, Fabinho, Gini Wijnaldum, Firmino, Salah, Mane, right? The big players at the time. We were so lucky. If any one of those players is out for like a sustained period of time, I'm not talking about 3-4 games and you come back in, we don't win that league in 1920. Plus, the player that we did buy on a free, Adrian, cost us in the FA Cup against Chelsea, if you guys remember.
Kagandik, remember
Also,
all the conversations we had where I
listen,
told you
but I'm on a roll here. Bear with me. And also cost us
Remember?
in the Champions League against Atletico Madrid. So now you replace Adrian with a half decent backup goalkeeper. We could win. We could have easily. I wholeheartedly believe we beat that Bayern team in that final and do a double. I'm not even kidding you. I think we do that. Cool. We win the league in 2020. 2021 comes along. We buy Jota, Tsimikas, Thiago. Decent window, but Lovren leaves. We don't address the centre-back issue. We go into the season with 3 senior centre-backs, 2 of which are highly injury-prone. And lo and behold, all our centre-backs are out and the season goes to absolute pot. And then in 2021, the January window comes. This is where I do blame FSG. This is not on Klopp. He was coming out and saying, I need a centre-back, but I'm not going to complain about it. And I'm whine and bitch and moan. I'm just going to carry on doing what I'm going to do. Just work with what I got, but I do need a centre-back. The centre-back he wanted was Konate, who we couldn't get until the summer. But the issue is if we're as proactive as we want to be in order to have that sustained success and keep us at that pinnacle, why don't we act like the big club we are and get Konate in the summer rather than having to wait a whole year and sign him in 2021? Which brings me on to 2021. We signed Konate. We don't sign anyone else, which I remember very vividly. For Sam streams, I remember him going on about how we needed a midfielder and a forward, especially as Gini Wijnaldum left as well. So we signed Konate, a signing that was done that should have been done the previous season. That wasn't done. And then that summer we were told, oh, it's the contract extension summer.
all that BS when Henderson and all the other players got contract extensions, and we didn't get the midfield and the forward we needed. So then we go into that season, had a pretty good start, but then we had that blip in that period where we drew to Brentford and Brighton and dropped points at Leicester and West Ham that period. And then in this January we signed Luis Diaz, which is a very good transfer and very, very good player, very good signing we made for a great price. And I was happy, but I thought, hang on, in the summer we needed a forward and we needed a midfielder. If we would have signed Luis Diaz in the summer and shifted Sadio Mane down the middle earlier, do you not think we would have closed the gap on City and won the league? Because I think we would have had a very good chance, an even better chance of winning the league, because Luis Diaz would have been that X factor from the start of the season, not the January where he was. From the start of the season, we would have won the league. And then, lo and behold, 2022, Nunez we got for 64 going on to 85 million, and then 2 project players in Carvalho and Calvin Ramsey. Well, another underwhelming window to say the least, because you come off of competing on all 4 fronts, you miss out on the league and the Champions League take it to the last day, and you miss out on the Champions League by a goal. So in order to make sure that doesn't happen, you have to, again, the proactiveness that we keep on going on about with this football club, you go into the season by being as well prepared as possible, by buying the players that are a lot more ready-made, not superstars, because people genuinely mix up between the two, between superstar players and ready-made players, because not every ready-made player is a superstar. Darwin Nunez, we could tell, was very, very, very raw. He'd come back, obviously had a fantastic season at Benfica, but that's only one season where he's been elite. And people go back to the game that he played against us in the Champions League, but where he was absolutely fantastic, not taking anything away from him. The problem is, though, is people don't think how many teams in Europe, let alone in the Premier League, play like we do, with that high line, high press, high counter press. That literally plays into his strengths. So of course he was going to do well. But in the Premier League, when we are one of the better teams in the league, where we're going to control possession, you're not going to get all that time and space and behind. So he was a raw player, and I knew he wasn't going to pull up any trees this season, and it's proven to be right. But again, going to give him another season, see what happens. And then Carvalho and Ramsey, I mean, they're kids at the end of the day. They're not ready to like ensure that we're to mount a title challenge that you see this season collapse. So look, so from I've given you all this example down memory lane of the last 5 years. So am I confident that we'll address all problem areas this summer? I mean, if it goes back to the 2018 summer, then yes. But if it goes back to the last few summers that we've had, I'm not so sure. But let's see what happens.
Okay, I appreciate you going deep there, proving the FSG failures consistently. The one thing I just want to say on that, just quickly before we go to Liam, is my man. That Adrian thing proves all along what I've been saying about homegrown quota. It's just some made-up excuse if we sign some meaty English player. Go on, Liam.
Anyway, thank you. It's great to be back on again. It's been a good while. I've just been really, really busy anyway. But I've kind of got mixed feelings heading into this window, to be honest with you. It's kind of tough to know. I think I know what to expect. I just hope that we, as many people have said, that we do enough business, we do actually fulfill the positions, that need to be strengthened, and we do all of them, which I'm kind of a little bit worried about. As one of you guys was saying earlier, I'm very worried about the defence as well, the centre backs. Even Van Dijk, I know he has a quite a poor season, you know, and it is just, you know, a few months, but like I've seen centre backs around that age decline quickly. I'm not saying he's going to decline. I do think he will be better next season, but you know, getting in a good 40, 50 million young centre back to potentially challenge him if, you know, he starts struggling again, I think is huge. And I just don't think Gomez and Matip are honestly up to the standards. Look, Matip was great, but I do think he is on the decline. You know, brilliant player in the past, always unlucky with injuries. I think if Pins had turned out different, he would have been, you know, really good, especially at the second half, the 18-19 season. He really was some player. So I definitely think we need to get two centre backs. I definitely agree with what a lot of you guys have said on that 100%. Do I think we'll do it? No, and that's where I come worried, as you know, a lot of you guys have said, we've left ourselves short in, you know, vital positions in the past. That's cost us points in various seasons. You know, one of you guys made a really good point, you know, about Adrian's mistake against Atletico, you know, and that's just the kind of thing that kind of puts me off saying that we will win the league next season or we can challenge the league, is that kind of fear. On the players we've been linked with, I do like a lot of them. MacAllister, I think it's a very, very good signing. I genuinely think it is really good. I'm not just saying that because we've signed him. He has been a player I've admired for a long, long time, even before the World Cup. I do think he is very good, and I do think that Prem experience as well is something we've definitely been in much, you know, we've been in need of, I suppose, as well. So I think it's a good sign. And Thuram, I'm a big, big fan. I think he's, you know, really, really good. I think he would be, I think he is actually just a perfect player for us, if you get what I mean. And I'm a big, big fan of Vega as well. Vigo, I watch a lot of La Liga, as I've said before, and he is just absolutely quality. Like, this guy.
Who's quality
wherever
like
he
that?
goes-
Vega?
Yeah.
I don't think he's
Um,
that good.
I think he's really good. Like, genuinely, like,
Fine and
he's
third maybe, but
healthy.
overall as a midfielder, I don't have him like an amazing.
I kind of get what you mean, but I do think under Klopp he will go even further, if you get what I mean. But the one thing, I think Vega and MacAllister together in the midfield would work really well. But the only thing I'd say, if we were probably to get Vega, we would probably need a CDM. And if we're to play the role, which I would kind of be in favour of, a CDM, I get your idea of defending, you know, as a midfield. I would still rather a CDM personally. But if we were to do a different system, I think Vega would suit. And the other thing as well about both Vega and MacAllister together is they both get goals. Like, their goal statistics are really good over the past couple of seasons. For centre backs, it's an interesting one. The centre back market isn't really that good at the minute, you know. Of course, you've got Timber, you've got Ignacio Van de Ven. I quite like him, but I think he's a bit raw still. I do. I think another few years in the Bundesliga would be better for him. He is really fast. I think he's going to, you know, move to a club in the future. I think he is going to have a good career, but I just don't think he's there yet. Timber is good, but I just don't know him. I think he's still a bit raw as well. Ignacio, I've definitely been a big fan of him. Antonio Silva will probably be the one that I would go for, but we're not going to pay the money that Benfica would want for him, unfortunately. If we different owners, I'd be absolutely all over that one. Some other options that maybe, let's say, haven't been linked to the club. I like John Claire Todibo from Nice. I know he's a Barca reject, but that was kind of more down to Ronald Koeman not really giving them a chance. Bartomeu, you know, their poor or their bad president at the time. But I think he is a very, very good centre back. He's really kind of revived at Nice. He's only 22 still. I think he will be really, really good. Lukemba at Lyon as well is someone that I quite like. But the centre back market, you know, as much as I do want some, it's not great at the minute unless you spend big money on, you know, a Bastoni or an Antonio Silva. And that's it. You know, that's why I want FSG out. We need to be going for higher quality players. But all in all, I do think we will get business done. You know, I've always been of that feeling. I just don't know, will we get as much as I think we need done. Like, as I've said, a lot of people have said, I think, we will leave ourselves short again, which is unfortunate. But that's all I got to say. Actually, before I do go, heading into the new season, I think we're capable of challenging. But unfortunately, I do think we will just come up short. I do hate saying that, but I think we could get into the title race, but I don't know, could we really do it and maintain it unless we do strengthen the positions that need it. 'Cause I just worry that we'll end up in another injury crisis again. I hope not, but I do, even with our medical staff as well. Look, I don't want to blame them, but it's obvious the company we employ at faults. If you look at the clubs, I think one guy made a great point a few months ago. The clubs, I think it was Tom actually, who made the point, all the clubs that employ the same company or whatever you want to call them that we employ have all an injury crisis last season at their clubs,
That wasn't Tom. Don't give Tom that credit. That was me who made that point.
Oh, was it you? Oh, my apologies.
Yeah, it's always this Tom Little guy. Nah, we ain't gonna credit him like that.
And one other thing I also want to add is when we get new owners eventually, I really hope we do soon enough, I think a feeder club would be really, really good to have. Like, if you look at Man City's owners, they own Roma FC in La Liga. And I watch quite a lot of La Liga, and they're genuinely starting to build Man City's team for the next few years. I know that's quite a big thing to say, but if you actually look at some of the quality young players in that Girona team, I can just see a good few of them at Man City in the future. It's a bloody scary prospect. So I think getting a feeder club in maybe League or the Liga, maybe Serie. I think League R probably the best one for a feeder club. That's definitely something I'd like to do, to develop the young South American talent and get them cheap as well. Hopefully we don't have to worry about that when we get new owners, but we definitely need to go into the South American market more 100%. A lot of people have been saying that there are some quality players in this. That's all I've got to say. I do think I'm going to predict a third place finish for next season, a second to third place finish. I hope I'm wrong, but I just think that, and hopefully win the Europa League. The Europa League final is actually in Dublin here in Ireland, and I have an uncle who lives literally 2 minutes away from the stadium. So hopefully if we do get there, I can go to that as well. That should be fun. But anyway, yeah.
Appreciate you, Liam. Appreciate you guys. Big up to you, K-Mac. Big up to you, Infinite. Thank you guys for joining me. Big up to you guys. I see you guys in the comments. Big up to you guys. Big up to Cam. Big up Gandhi. Big up Liam. And we're gonna wrap it up here, folks. We're gonna end it. Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you're slapping the like button. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel if you're yet to do so. Actually, I have a surprise for you guys. You know how, like, in the MMA and the boxing world and all of that, you get certain surprises at the end. This is someone cashing in a money in the bank. You asked for it at the start. 90% of you will guess exactly who's about to come on. He is Uncle Albert's rival. The ultimate call-in show rivalry right here. This is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Obviously, we've got one bald guy, so you already know who Stone Cold is. And I've decided to make him the final call-in by himself before we end the video. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. So joining us on the channel, of course, is the menace himself. See, the comment section already know. Man like Ozzy has joined us on the channel. How you doing, bro? Talk to me.
I'm honored that I got one of Hassem's big introductions. I genuinely am honored, so thank you for that. Genuinely. I was on so much smoke, and then people started talking for about 10 minutes, and I'm about to fall. It's crazy. Bro, you don't need to hog the mic for 15 minutes telling me your whole plans for Liverpool Football Club. All due respect, no one from the club is listening. But anyway, that's for another day. Uncle Albert, how you doing, my friend? Oh, look, now all
You're
of a
on
sudden,
mute, Albert. You're on mute.
I'm good. How are you? How are you, Ozzy? How are you?
I can't lie. I don't even need to be on the screen. I could just do.
It's nice. It's nice to put a face to the name, man. And
now you can see it. I told you we're complete opposites. Your head is shining from the boldness. I've got beautiful, lovely, long hair. There's a difference to this game. But we're not going to talk about hair today.
You've started.
we won't talk about hair today. I just heard, obviously, recently we haven't been able to speak one-on-one because for some reason you're either abroad, you're either flying to Anfield to watch your team lose, or there's always a there's always a reason why you can't speak to me. I hear all the smoke. I hear all the smoke on a regular basis. Ozzy, we're going to finish ahead of you, Ozzy. You will see. You will see. I saw.
Ozzy,
I didn't see you after.
Up. Shut up. Listen, you are going to play Europa. You are going to come third in your group. What's your problem? Relax. See, the dance is coming to your dad's family house. Wait, let it get there. Don't go out and meet it. See,
I don't need to. We're talking about the present. We don't talk about the future. First of all, there's no way.
I don't want you to go out and meet Europa. It will come to you. Relax.
There's no way in hell.
Coming. You guys have a shit. You have a shit team. It's only a shit team that buys Mason fucking Mount. 99% of Manchester United supporters don't want Mason Mount. Why don't you want him?
I want him.
You do?
I would happily take him. Yeah, I've been calling for him for ages. Listen, let me tell you something. Because in football,
so you add Mason Mount. You add Mason Mount to the synchronized swimmer, Anthony, right?
No. I'm telling you, and you'll see. Mason Mount will end up being a better signing than MacAllister. All right. I'll tell you why.
I'm so afraid.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. I'll tell you why.
Leave the light on in my eyes. Save me. Oh, save me. Oh, Mason Mount, better than MacAllister. Shit.
What, you don't think so?
Fucking happening.
So let me tell you something. This is the same Mason Mount that was one of the top 3 players in that Chelsea squad that ended up winning the Champions League. When he is on it, he's one of the best young English talents. Now,
you know something? In all the years of watching Mason Mount, in all the years I've seen Mason Mount, I've only seen him touching the ball once when he passed to Kai Havertz.
But would you not agree that the situation in Chelsea isn't great? No one can succeed. They even made Kante look like a trash midfielder. Same Kante, that's one of the best midfielders in the world. Look at the defense they have. Look at the players, the quality of players. Even Koulibaly, the Koulibaly that they had from Napoli, they made him look like trash. Now he's going to go back to play in Saudi Arabia.
You have you want to buy
environments. Listen to me, Albert. Environments matter, yeah, and class is permanent. But because we have social media nowadays, people want to shit on Mason Mount. Now, if Mason Mount joins United, I'll back him because I think he's a great young player. If he joins Liverpool, if he joins City, if he joins any other club,
matter when you are
one sec.
Everybody's playing for you. Everybody's playing for you, and all you are doing is running and hoofing, running. I'm running too. You running.
But I still finished ahead of you, even though I'm running. That's the thing. I still finished ahead of you. I still to this day haven't got the apology that you promised me. Ozzy, I will give you an apology.
Come on, Ozzy, that's a lie. I've apologized. That you want another apology? That's something.
No, I want to hear the words. Ozzy, I am sorry.
Happy birthday on Friday.
I wanted to hear the words, Ozzy, I am sorry I even doubted you. I am sorry that I thought Manchester United would finish below my Liverpool.
Write what
I am
what
sorry
you want
that
me
I
to
thought
say.
that I was going to win the league.
Write what you want me to say and DM it to me. Because it seems like you are never satisfied.
Never. I really am. Because you see when people talk a lot, Albert, like yourself, they have to get the humiliation has to match the words. You know when you're speaking
to no humiliation. Because we are fit, we are getting MacAllister. If we weren't fit, we would have gotten Alex fucking Scott. I'm happy we are fit because at least we are buying some players. If we weren't fit, we would have been buying you. Listen. I don't even give a crap. See, Liverpool were simply living on a goose flute and playing in an orchestra when they didn't know how to play any instrument. Now we've been exposed. Our owners have been exposed. Now they need to cough up. So I'm happy we've got MacAllister. What would have been painful is MacAllister signing for Manchester United. That would have been painful.
I don't want him.
He's the best midfielder available. See what he did in the World Cup. He's a World Cup fucking winner.
What did he do at the World Cup? He was drinking tea, being the side man for Lionel Messi.
He was the best man in the match. He scored a goal, gave an assist in the final. He was the best player in the match against Poland. Remember, he didn't start. He and Enzo didn't start. Give credit where credit is due, Ozzy. He is an absolutely phenomenal footballer.
Oh,
and
really?
we got him for 35 million pounds. Ozzy, Ozzy, give me, be
Re-
truthful.
remind me,
Be
out of
truthful
all,
for
out
once
of one
in
sec,
your
one sec.
life.
Out of all
Be-
the goals, in for Argentina in that World Cup, how
Mhm.
many did Messi assist and
Well,
score?
Messi
It was
scored
much.
6 penalties. Messi
It-
scored 6 penalties.
Exactly. Listen,
Six
listen.
penalties.
Everyone in this world,
Mhm.
in this world knows that FIFA gifted that World Cup to Lionel Messi.
I agree with you. That's the
Now,
only thing I agree with you on.
Now, if we want to sit here and act like MacAllister had a major impact on the Argentina side, fine, I'll allow
Oh,
it.
he did. He absolutely. But even
He
if you are
scored
giving
and
food,
assisted.
if you are giving food on a plate, you need to be able to put it in your mouth. No.
Listen,
So whatever was given to them, they actually needed to execute, and they
Okay.
did.
You
And
thought
let's
you
not.
were gonna disrespect my goat without me saying anything. First of
No,
all,
let's not take
first of
anything
all,
away
no,
from Messi.
no. I'm gonna talk
Let's
now.
not take anything away from
Messi was
Messi.
not
He's a
gifted the World
phenomenal
Cup.
player.
Listen,
Don't take anything away from that dude.
One
man.
second. Messi was not gifted the World Cup. That's number
Mhm.
one. Messi won the World Cup.
Yeah.
Second of all,
That's what the record.
the first game Argentina played, they had a double pivot of Paredes and another guy. As soon as they put in MacAllister and Enzo next to each other, they won every single game.
As soon as they
McAll-
put on Enzo Fernandez, that's when they won every single
And
game.
MacAllister.
And
MacAllister had the impact. I agree, but it wasn't as big as Enzo Fernandez.
Yeah, but here's
Enzo
the
Fernandez was what made that
MacAllister,
team.
listen, MacAllister had the impact of El Jundi El Khafi, which is the ball carrier. He had the impact of Gini Wijnaldum. He had that impact. MacAllister's impact is not necessarily shown on the stat sheet.
Mhm.
It's shown by someone who's gonna control the ball, who's
It's
gonna
the
pass the
eye
ball
test.
left and
You
right. keep it ticking.
you sound like every single top red that you come and abuse on the show every time, because when we talk about Henderson and they come on your channel and they say, oh, he runs but he gives a lot, he does so much running, oh he's such a runner, now you're
Ozzy.
talking about MacAllister in the same
Ozzy.
way. He was the
There's a
runner
reason why
for
you-
Argentina.
Ozzy, you really need to take some cough mixture now. You just compared Henderson to MacAllister.
I didn't compare
Get some
him. I'm
cough
comparing.
mixture.
I'm comparing the way Hosam
Get
was talking
some
about
fucking
MacAllister.
liquid
He
fruit
didn't
and
tell me
then
he was.
But I never
No,
said
wasn't.
Henderson. I said Gini Wijnaldum.
Okay, but the same thing. They're all runners. They all do the dirty.
MacAllister
They
is
all
not
do
a
the
runner.
dirty job. That's it. That's
MacAllister
simple.
is an all-rounder.
Mason Mount is a better player than MacAllister, and you'll see
No,
it
he
in the next
isn't.
2 or 3 years. He is, but
No, he
because you guys jump on the bandwagon of social media and people shit on players, yeah, all of a sudden he becomes shit. Mason Mount 2 or 3 years ago won the Champions League. He was
So
the
why
one
don't Chelsea want him?
He was the second best player in that team.
So I always ask the question. So why are Chelsea refusing to give him the money he's asking for if he's that good?
That's Chelsea's decision. That's absolutely Chelsea. I would happily
Okay,
give him
funnily
money.
enough, let me tell you.
Fucking
Let me tell you one thing
Kanisuku
about
and
Mason Mount. Tomorrow, inshallah, at 6:15 UK time, I'm doing a show with Mu'min and with Staffy on Mason Mount and Kim Min Jae. I thought, but you told me you're traveling. You good for that show?
I'll be there. I'll absolutely.
You
they are
good?
begging. They are begging for somebody to come and take that load off of them.
Because
I know
even Staffy, who's a United fan, don't want him. So
that's
good
fine.
luck.
We can agree to disagree. But for me, I think I understand it, and I think some United fans are easily brainwashed with the whole social media thing. Is that it's so easy to call out players and say they're shit or they're not good anymore, or whatever. I hate the word "this player is shit." There's no such thing. At some stage, Henderson was a good player for Liverpool. Yes or no? At some stage in his Liverpool career, was he good for Liverpool? Was he useful for Liverpool? Was he one of the ingredients that you needed?
The environment.
Yeah, exactly. So therefore, Mount may not be performing for Chelsea at the moment, and Chelsea is
because he's shit.
No. It's because the whole team and the environment is shit. That's the reason.
They don't want him. So why do they want some of them? Chelsea have even retained Callum Hudson-Odoi, right? And they don't want Mason Mount. He's shit.
No, he's not shit. He's
telling
not shit.
you right now. He's absolute dog poop.
They
don't want him.
What is your proof? What is your proof that he's dog poop? What have you seen from him to say that he's dog poop?
The proof is at Stamford Bridge. They don't want his ass. They don't want to pay him the money he's asking for. They are retaining Callum fucking Hudson-Odoi, who went walkabout in Leverkusen. They are retaining Baba Rahman, who went walkabout in Reading, and Reading got relegated.
Well, let me fact check you. Let me fact check you for a second. If Chelsea wanted to renew with Mount, they would, but they can't. They don't want to give him the money that he's asking for.
That's what I'm saying.
Stop. So they don't want to invest in what he believes he's worth.
So it's got nothing to do with the fact that they're throwing him away. They just know that they can afford Hudson-Odoi.
Oh, so
Because
somebody
Let me land that.
somebody discarded their
One sec,
wife,
Albert.
and now you go and pick it up.
One sec, Albert. One sec. United
Somebody
are willing.
put his wife in the trash can,
One
and
sec.
you go and pick it up.
All right, Albert. All I'm saying is United are willing to invest in a young player that has bags of potential, and they will invest in whatever he asks for. If he asks for 200K,
you invested in Martial, you invested in Pogba, you
the
invested
same
in
Martial
Lukaku, you invested in
that dunked on
Anthony.
you on his
And let
debut.
me tell you, your worst ever signing in the
He
history
scored
of
against
mankind.
Martin
In fact,
Skrtel. Congratulations.
He scored
two
against your
of your
team.
worst signings.
Listen, nevertheless,
Norman
I don't want to
Whiteside.
make this try. I don't want to
Norman
make this tribal.
Whiteside. At a point in time, you made Norman Whiteside the most expensive footballer in history. He was 17. He was dog shit. The next one is Anthony. Anthony is a fucking Cirque du Soleil clown. He should be a trapeze artist, jumping fucking hoops, twirling around in the swimming pool with a little ribbon and a ring in his nose. He is absolute.
Can I tell you
trash.
something? I actually totally agree with you on Anthony. I think Anthony's one of United's worst signings in the last 10 years. That's my own personal opinion. I don't think for 100 million we got money or value for what he offers. I feel like
now he's fighting with his pregnant girlfriend.
Well, that's something for another day. We're not trying to get ourselves stream cancelled.
Albert, chill out.
all I'll say is that
you guys have 5 minutes, by the way, for you
Got
to
you.
fight, and then after that, I'm gonna wrap it up.
Got you. Before Hussam ends the stream, I just want to say a couple things. When the Qataris decide to come and join United, they're not going to offer United anything that is new. We've had money. We've spent a billion and a bit in the last 10 years. It's how they spend the money, right? And there needs to be someone that advises on which players are needed at the club. So there needs to be a middleman between the United ownership and Ten Hag. And that's what City do so well. They don't just choose any player and that's it. They have a formula. They have a bunch of players that they think will mix together, play a style of play, have an ideology. I don't remember the last time United had an ideology since Alex Ferguson was there. We knew what type of football Alex played. We know how Klopp plays, right? We know how Pep plays. If you don't have an ideology and you follow it and you commit to it and everyone in the club is on the same wavelength, you're not going to win anything. Simple. And that's why I say, I think it's really, really important, not just for United, even Liverpool, that you have that middleman. When Edwards, was the middleman Edwards? Was he
Michael Edwards?
Yeah, Michael Edwards.
He was phenomenal. The connection between him, the ownership, and Klopp is what brought you guys like Salah, like Mane, like Firmino. Basically, what you built your team, the success that you had on your team on their back, basically. And I think that's what football misses at the moment, and that's what United miss, and that's what
I have to agree with you there. You see, when you want to be reasonable, it's lovely listening to you. Manchester United and Liverpool need to be careful because we are soon going to become dinosaurs. You know, my dad told me a story. He said when he was in Liverpool studying, my dad is 90 now. When he was in Southampton studying back in the day, in the 50s, Preston North End were the best team in England, right? So we need to be careful.
Yeah, I agree, and we can sit here and we can talk about the past or whatever. I want to look at the future. Qatari investment does not guarantee United's success for years. Let me just say that the reason why I'm so excited, why so many United fans are excited, is that we will have people that for once in like the last 10, 15 years actually want to win and will do whatever it takes to win. The Glazers don't care. As long as they have an income and they have a profit on a business, because United is a business to them, then they're happy. Same with FSG. FSG only care about the investment.
When the Qataris come, they will clear your sewers and buy new saucepans
for
currency.
I agree with you. The stadium's leaking. Connect with the community, invest money in United, because United, last 10 years, have lost so much ground on City. Now, City will never be bigger than United, not even in 100 years. They can keep praying.
No, but you keep saying that. That's just BS.
They never will.
No, but that's just BS. That's just BS.
Tell me how it's BS.
There's a whole
I've already publicly said I'm supporting everyone against City next season unless it's
young kids.
One second. Unless it's Man United, because they're my biggest rival and everyone doesn't understand why I wouldn't want them to win. Unless it's Man United, I'm supporting anyone anyone against Man City. And the truth is, all this, oh my God, no one cares about City, they're never going to be bigger. Okay, so you're saying they're never going to be bigger. If they continue this dominance that they're on currently for these next like 15 years or etc., then there is nothing stopping them from overtaking us all. I'm gonna be honest with you. Even my club, even everyone's club. Even though I understand it's not a real, it's not real, it's plastic and all of that. I get that element.
Ozzy, let me ask.
All I'm saying is the rate at which they're winning trophies is crazy. So we can't push that to the side.
When did you start supporting Liverpool? Supporting Man U?
God forbid. 2007.
Right, because you saw something, right? As you are growing up, they're successful, they are in the media. See, there's a whole generation of young kids and young adolescents growing up and seeing Manchester City doing well. So in 10 years, they will have the capacity that look, when I was a kid, nobody supported Manchester United. I hate to tell you that. Liverpool were the team. That was when I was growing up. When I was growing up, you guys had, like I said, Norman Whiteside, and one of your players, that bald-headed guy on Talk Sport, Alan, what's his name? Alan Brazil. Brazil. Back in my day, he was one of your topmost products. I mean, you guys had goalkeepers like Jim Leighton. Jim Leighton had no teeth, and he was your goalkeeper. But as Ferguson came in, he introduced something new. You're winning, you're doing well, and a whole generation comes picking up. So don't wish Manchester City well. I'm telling you, man. Don't wish them well. Don't wish Newcastle well. Don't wish any of them well.
Just a final word. I know someone wants to end it. It's late in Jordan. I know. So I'm gonna let.
It is 3:36 a.m.
I'll just literally until 3:38 and I'm gone. All I'm going to say is this. I agree with what you're saying, all right? Obviously, I can't guarantee that they're not going to be successful at some point in the future, more successful than us. All we need to do is stop them from dominating. Now, I started supporting United because my uncle was a United fan, right? I think it's not all about success. Not in this day and age. Some of it is, but some of us are born and fall in love with football and certain clubs because our parents love them or our friends love them or whatever, right? It's not necessarily just success. When I joined United, I didn't know United was successful. I just knew that my uncle supported them. He lived in Manchester. I was like, I just love this team. And you just fall in love with it, right? If you stop City from being successful in terms of dominancy, then there will always be a variety of teams that you can choose from. But if they keep dominating like they're doing right now, which is basically...
Yeah, but that's the point, brother.
But I'm saying they're not going to be this dominant for ages.
Okay, so even if in the next 15 years they win 8 league titles, I'm not even saying as dominant as they are right now. Even if they win 8 and 15, that's a problem. 17. That's already 17 league titles.
That's a problem. I agree with that. That's a problem. But that's not going to happen. If
we don't fix up, they will dominate.
That's not going to happen because Newcastle are around. United are about to be invested. Liverpool will always be a big club. As much as it pains me to say, it will always be a big club. All right, because it's one of those clubs.
I agree with you, but listen. My argument is very simple. Us saying they're never going to become bigger than us is what's gotten us to this position to begin with. So like
no one cares.
I also don't like that.
No one cares about it.
I agree with you. No one cares, but when the numbers start hitting, people are gonna care. Let me give you a quick example. Right, next year if they win it, they're gonna be on double-digit league titles. So they've already overtaken Chelsea. They can talk to Arsenal now. So you see the levels. How? Listen, Ozzy. 10 years ago they couldn't talk to Sunderland or Everton. Now they're talking to Arsenal and Chelsea. 10 years from now, they're going to be talking to me and you. So this is the thing. Like, before you know it, City are going to be one of the biggest clubs. And this is the unfortunate reality. Anyway.
We always have to remember history. In the 80s, Aston Villa won back-to-back European championships. They were one of the biggest teams in Europe. So, I mean, they had players that nobody remembers now, Peter Witt and co. So you can't just write them off. We should compete with them, and hopefully that their 115 charges will hit them and then they'll go back to relegation.
Listen, let's just end it on that. I think that's the best thing to end it on. Big up to you, Albert. Big up to you, Oz. We have to keep the main event till the end.
Thank you,
you guys got along. You guys didn't even fight like that. Fair enough.
Today, listen, they took this thing out of my attack. Everyone that was talking for half an hour before I came on.
I'm sorry.
But I appreciate you.
I didn't know they were going to speak that long. That's my bad.
I want to say one quick thing. I appreciate you and what you're doing recently, because I don't think a lot of people understand how difficult. Listen, I used to
radio presenter. I used to do a lot of content creating. No one understands the strain that it takes mentally to do it on a daily basis. So I respect you very highly, and congrats on what you're doing, because this year I think it's going to be your biggest year on This Is Football. So congrats on that. Big up to Albert. Everyone knows it's a rivalry, but I've got a lot of love for my uncle Albert. So I just hope people know that. And yeah, tomorrow, you know, who knows if
6:15 you're going to be there now publicly.
Publicly, I've said it. I've given you my words.
Well, 6:15 UK time, because Staffy, who's a United fan, don't want Mount, and Momin is probably gonna mock you. We're gonna run that whole, you know, Arab coffee shop thing.
I don't follow trends, but I'm gonna bring my my coffee to the ahwa. So
Ozzy, I promise you that next season we'll only beat you 3-0 at home and 3-0 away.
Oh, here we go. Don't start an argument now. Don't start an argument. Let's just chill. I need to go.
We'll be nice to you. We'll be nice.
It's 3:30. Big up to Zlatan, who says Ozzy's investment is
so Ozzy, guess what? Aviva Stadium in Dublin, 2024, final of Europa Cup, Liverpool and Manchester United. How does that grab you?
I wouldn't want that to happen. I'd be shitting myself.
I'll
Sheikh
be going
Jackson
with you,
Bride,
man.
London,
Me and Ozzy, hand in hand.
The camel from London. Big up to you, Zlatan, man. Thank you for the super chats. Listen, big up to Peyrad, big up to Zlatan, Terry, Joe, Amin, Victor, JJ, Matome, Messi FC, here to there. I appreciate the kind words from Ozzy. Not many people can do a show on YouTube for 3 hours and a half. But listen, we out here. I'm knackered. I'd like to thank my brother Albert as well, who co-hosted this whole thing for 3 hours and a half as well.
But
my guy.
Let me echo Ozzy's words. Your accent and the gradient has been so sharp, it's unbelievable. But you know what? You know why? It comes from telling the truth. You know, the most amazing thing about you, when you start spaces, right? Within minutes, there's like 1,000 people on it. Right? Within minutes, there's like 1,000 people in it. Other people start spaces and like there's 2 people there for 3 hours. Okay. So you're doing good, but you tell the truth. So keep telling the truth. It's the truth. People like people like the truth. They may not, you can't count the truth in terms of quantify it, but people like the truth. They like to hear unfiltered matter. They don't want to hear people who are echo bunnies, who are always.
Albert, the man wants to sleep, man. Let the guy sleep, man.
Man, he's committed himself to this, so now he's our slave. Okay.
Hey, if Albert's gonna compliment me, I'm allowed to speak, man.
You are.
I appreciate you, Albert. Listen, I'm humbled by you both. I'm humbled by everyone's support. Just this time a year ago, if I had 100 people on stream, I would have lost my mind. We're 3 hours and a half into just a call-in show, and there's still 200 people in here, which is absolutely unbelievable. So thank you, guys. Make sure you continue to share the videos. Tomorrow, inshallah, we've got a packed schedule as well for you. 6:15 p.m. UK. We're going to talk Mason Mount, Kim Min Jae. It's going to be a United show. Going to be me, Ozzy, Staffy, and Momin, inshallah. And then at 11 p.m., we're going to come back with Hamza.
Why don't you bring Saeed, man? I love Saeed.
Saeed, listen, I'll tell you off camera why I cannot work with him. But big up to you guys. Big up to you guys. Make sure you guys are slapping the likes. Make sure you guys are subscribing. Nadra sent in a super chat. She says, big up Hussam. England has finally found their number 10 Trent. Hey, that is the whole Trent thing. I'm so happy to see my guy shine. And I can't wait for him to dunk on Southgate's head top. Anyway, love you all. Like, subscribe. See you guys tomorrow, inshallah.
Okay, bye-bye.